Yo, what is good? Let me just say, I still wouldn't buy a Mac if my life depended on it, but screw Windows right now. Windows and your updates, and you're taking my Bluetooth away, and now I gotta figure out all kinds of drivers and crap. Anyways, Portland is looking lit. Let's go to the streams right away. And we'll talk about it. All right, here we go. And I think if you guys can see, Portland is looking lit tonight. Very lit. Popo's is out tonight, guys, and the people are out tonight as well. So it's been a minute since I've personally seen it like this. And Dale, what's good, brother? Portland looking lit tonight. I don't know. Some people looking like they want to cause trouble and get into it tonight. Yo, Hudson Beard, thank you for the sub. Much appreciated. Yeah, they're making trouble like always. That's what they do. Although, looks like the 5-0s is taking off. I get the feeling they're going to be back. They look to be out in force tonight. But I guess we'll see. Things have been picking up steam. I think they're preparing for the election is what I think. Oh shoot, we're gonna be getting some whatchamacallit, get a strike on the channel with that playing.
Let's see how this ends up. Let me mute this real quick.
What was that? I don't even know what that was. That like NSYNC or something? Oh, they're still playing it over there. Oh man. And I've got the audio on StreamWorks, but of course looks like they've muted their audio as well because they're playing copyrighted music and nobody wants to get strikes. Looks like they're starting to learn how to fight the average live streamer. No. No, but it looks like we've got some other streams here we might be able to take a peek at. Let's see. We might be able to go to one of them for sound. Or not.
So not only do you need the lens attachment, but you also need the case.
Man, they just all playing.
I have 2 lenses.
They're all playing music. Smart ones seem to have shut down the music. And they're playing it too. It's like everywhere you go. It's just all kinds of copyright. If I'm not talking the entire time, it's going to strike the dang channels. Let's see if we can find something here that doesn't have... I've got 3 channels up that are just dark with nothing. It was showing Trumpet Man, but every time I try to go to it, it just doesn't pop them up. So that's definitely not a thing. Interesting. We'll try this. Well, see, there's Trumpet Man right there. Trumpet Man's up there in the top corner, but
I wish 7-Eleven was still open.
and when I tried
Only if they checked it.
DAX audio, I don't really hear anything. Oh, I guess so. He's out walking around.
Oh, I can't read that. It's pink on white. It's kind of spooky. Wait, did you ask if that was the toilets? No, that was City Hall.
Streamworks Media went down, huh?
Life.
Okay. This is what happens whenever you have an update to do on your damn computer, and it takes all frickin' night to do. Which, in all my years of owning so many different computers, I've never had one take that long. And in the end, what did I get? Nothing. A bunch of wasted time, and they took away my Bluetooth. Arizona Patriots, are they live right now, Andale? Do you got a link? Maybe post a link in the Discord, and I'll see if I can't get it up.
It just sounds wrong. Yeah. So then we're gonna call it there for the night, y'all. Follow the stream if you can. Follow Twitter. I wonder if I still got that guy's. Hold on, what was that one asshole? Yo, I'm gonna post his Twitter again.
This guy's just doxing people.
There we go. Share. Copy. Don't ever forget him.
The streams are going down left and right. Holy cow, what's going on here? Well, they've all decided to just apparently crap out. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, there we go. What in the world? We're off to a rough start tonight, boys. We are off to a rough start. Oh, look. Even more crap. Oh my God. Alright. Let's... If this guy's stream is that messed up, there's no point. Let's see if we can't pull up a couple others. No. Okay. Ah, there you go. I see your... See if I can get that up.
You're now Portland's most dangerous streamer. How does it feel?
Hey, J8 Ashbury, how you doing? Anthony, what's good? Trying to get some of these streams up here. If they'll decide to work, everybody's got crappy signal, so it keeps going down. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're getting somewhere now. Enhance.
So I'm running across the street, and I didn't even notice there was a cop, like...
San Francisco, that's a good question. I don't have any streams currently here that I see from San Francisco, but I'm not opposed to putting them up. If y'all are in the Discord, post a link, and I will try to get it up.
Get the fuck away from me!
Let's see if we can't fill this other spot over here. Portland is looking a little busy tonight. They were. The cops have since kind of pulled back a little bit. Okay, apparently pepper spray makes you hungry. Make sure to take some before every meal.
Lumex friends out here when we get gassed.
I do.
You know, these live streamers legit need to, like, work on their Wi-Fi. Look at them. Look how many of them are just cutting out and getting frozen. Did Jared just go down and do the wonderful frozen face? Didn't cover the cam whenever he decided to log off? Oh, interesting. And I did not know that. I did not know that was a neighborhood in San Fran. But then again, I'm not much of a Cali fan, so you know. Well, let's do a little switcheroo here.
Oh, they painted the
Let's
van.
go here.
It might be a different band. I think it might be a different band.
Charge!
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, who needs internet? Nobody needs internet, right? Oh my goodness.
How do you feel about being hated for being white press? Musical, I'm sorry, what? No, you can't be, because if you were, then white people wouldn't be fucking with you. I don't know, I don't think that's what it is.
What do you think what it is?
We only fuck with white people.
Do you think they actually believe that I'm white? Me, guy who looks like this.
Trying not to get a copyright strike here. What's going on with these AZ Patriots? They hiding in bushes over there? What's going on with that?
Hold on. Oh, sorry. Where'd that one guy go? Oh, hey. Sir? Here's some,
Man, these streamers have got some terrible internet. What is going on here?
Okay, Violet, are you here still? Will you post my link to DLive? Please? Thank you.
Oh, really?
So,
You trying to catch Trump sign stealers out there?
I will be streaming to DLive
It makes some good videos.
in the event I get permabanned. I'll be
Chalupa, what's good, brother, man? Good to see you.
and or Periscope. Thank you. There's the link.
We were, things were looking lit in Portland there for a minute, but 5-0's decided to retreat. I don't know if they'll be back out tonight or not.
That would do something like that, right?
Well, the two streams that don't seem to be having very many problems, I guess we'll enhance those. Hey, that sounds like a good night.
Trying to appeal that straight.
Nothing wrong with a little six-pack. I wasn't even planning on streaming tonight, but Portland was looking a little lit, so I was like, you know what? Let's see what's going on. And there's some more wonderful music from Portland people. I think they're learning that if they play copyright type music while they do their stuff, that
All right. Should we log it off?
at the very least people have to like turn their audio off.
Log it off. If anything happens, the boys will be out there.
Michael, NR.
Michael Fapaport. You said that last time, and I'll never forget that. He looks like Michael Fapaport with that mask on, doesn't he?
No.
I listen to Stern all the time. I hate Stern's politics and I hate his brainwashing and whatnot. But I mean, everything else, whenever he gets off of the damn politics, Stern's pretty damn funny.
We'll be back on.
He keeps me entertained when I'm doing drives. Which, by the way, it's looking like there's a very real possibility I might be traveling to Nevada this weekend because Trump is doing a rally. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jared Hub or whatever. He's the one that looks like Michael Fappaport.
And
And they're ordering a shit ton more signs, but they're not putting them
But yeah, while we're here live, let's see if I can't reserve and get into,
right.
see if I can't get reservations for the Trump event. If so, I will try to live stream it.
They've driven through here how many times? They've never seen us once.
I know.
Go see Trump in Nevada? That sounds like a good time to
He
me.
was going to turn real quick, and then he
Anyways,
dipped out.
so there'll be a ton of signs coming in right before the election. I still have signs. If you need signs, let me know. If you're in Arizona,
Oh, interesting. All the ones I was looking at. Oh, here we go.
No,
So yeah, Sunday, October 18th.
probably the park.
light it up.
The park. But
Sunday, October
the other one that
18th,
went by
4 p.m.
already kept going.
at Carson City, Nevada. Let me see what it takes to
check make sure
register.
Everybody's out of the park, and they gotta close those gates, I think.
so anyway.
Attendees under the age of 18 do not need a ticket. President Donald J. Trump delivers remarks at Make America Great Again rally in Carson City, Nevada, Sunday, October 18th, 2020 at 4 p.m.
Put them within view of
There's
the camera if you have
directions. You can share your registration,
Try to catch
upgrade
these
your
people stealing.
experience.
Yeah, some media outlets
Interesting.
contacted us and wanted to use the video of the woman with the dog kicking over the signs.
Yeah.
Well, I have registered. I don't know if that's all I have to do is register.
And you know what? Put it
You
out
know,
there,
with the way the election's going right now, you just don't know
because people need to know. I mean,
what's going to happen.
Live in your neighborhood.
I think
and I know that we're not
the
only
left
ones
has
who
proven they'll do
watch
anything
people
possible to
stealing.
try
We
to
might be
steal
a
the
little more extreme
election.
than some.
So, you
Not
know,
extreme in a bad way.
I
Extreme
won't put
in a,
anything past
like,
them, and who knows how many more opportunities you'll get to go
we
see,
got a little bunker set
in my
over here.
opinion,
We got a little bunker across the street.
the greatest president of my lifetime.
Every single time we've run out on
In
people
person.
4 times now, and they still have no
So,
idea where we came from.
and for those of you who don't know,
before they even know.
get to go to these events, which you have to do,
So, huh?
is get yourself, I don't know if this will show,
Yeah.
get yourself,
So there, I mean,
oh, of course not.
yeah,
It's
we
the
might-
Trump
we might
app.
take it up
Okay, get yourself the Trump app, and then you can see the events. They announced this one 3 days before it was going to happen, so
Enough's enough. They
I'm registered now, and I am going to probably drive down there and or fly, not sure yet.
Yep. It is.
It's interesting is they have an upgrade your
Like I said, like it or not, it
experience.
might
I
be a
wonder
little-
if that means you
it might
can.
just be a little Trump sign to some people, or whatever, but it's still a crime.
It's the principle of the matter. You don't go walking around.
Don't know exactly what that means. It's not apparently I have to earn points.
Right.
But yeah, so
Let's see.
this Sunday
Yeah, they do look like they're going slow. I'm gonna dump a
might
little
be
bit.
lit.
Make sure they can't see me.
We're also looking at some pretty big plans for election night, if I must say.
We are on.
So, November
Michael or Eddie will
3rd,
go live if anything else happens. They'll
one way or another,
call us
look
and we
forward
can
to a
run out
stream.
'cause We're very close.
We're
to
going to
home.
do this together.
If they need our assistance,
It's like you see headlights, you're like, oh, it could be them.
I know. I look at them and
Shop
I'm like,
Gallery on
maybe it's
Facebook. Let me see if I can find them.
All right.
If you guys post links in the Discord, I will add them.
It is the Civic. It is the Civic, and they are creeping. They're gonna turn around. Look, they broke. They broke. Turn around, you little bitch. Come on.
Come back. She broke the whole way. Yep, there she goes. She's getting in the left lane. Tell them to watch out for the Civic.
I'm not showing Chop Gallery as live. I see them live as of an hour ago, but I'm not showing them.
Boys, the Civic rode by again. Ride don't break the entire time.
I'm not showing them with a live video right now. I just see a past video.
Yeah.
If you have a different link, Jay,
yeah, it's like a
you could post it there in the Discord.
I want him to come and do it. Come on. What were the little girls in who tried to steal the signs the first time? Were they in a... I think Eddie thought they were in a BMW.
I might post up in a vehicle around the corner in case I've been made.
Yeah, I see that video. I see them like harassing. I see them harassing the police, but it's not showing live. It's showing as a previously recorded video.
That's what I said. Here come. No, that's not the Civic. They were downshifting like they were going to slow down, though. That's why I was wondering.
Must be Proud Boys. I wonder if you think these folks like have nightmares of Proud Boys attacking them in the middle of the night? You think they like?
Right now? What's this truck doing?
They wake up in the hot sweats thinking a Proud Boy just came through their window? I bet you they do, huh?
Broke kind of early, like he was going to flip a U-turn. He's going in the neighborhood, though. All right, should we log it off? There's no cars.
You know what's gonna happen when you log it off.
Yeah, she's gonna come back.
He's got a stun baton. I wonder what he uses that for whenever he's not out LARPing.
I'm just glad we caught a couple of people tonight again, and we stopped them from stealing them. They had to drop them.
Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, I see that Live Now is playing
Should I go creep on them?
Chop Gallery as well, but they're definitely playing a loop. I don't think they realize it.
All right, I'm gonna kill this live feed, and if anything else happens, we'll come back on.
Oh, it looks like AZ Patriots might be
Thanks for
going
hanging
down
out
too.
with us.
Never a dull moment with AZ Patriot.
Nope, never. What did I just step on? No, it was a branch.
They're dropping like flies.
All right, I'm ducking. Here comes 2 more cars, and then we'll kill the live.
Do they got like an Occupy thing going on in Portland now? Like they got trying to take over the park again, or is that just?
I know.
How nasty is? Whoa! What the? And the elk is what? What do they do? Replace the second elk with a dinosaur now? What is that?
Okay. All right, we out.
Good God.
All right. If anything happens, somebody will go live.
I've already said that 3 times. Hang up.
Okay. Bye, guys. Good night. Have fun.
Wow! Congratulations, guys! You tore down a beautiful fountain, and you replaced it with that ugly ass elk.
Just check it, make sure y'all ain't forgetting.
Oh God! Let's do this. Oh damn! Well, we're losing streams left and right.
Can you ask Ninja and Blue all answers? Who are you voting for? Ken or Curse? What?
Oh, King. Okay. Gotta go King. Because he's the only one I unlocked in The Simpsons Tapped Out. Yeah?
I don't know that reference, so I'm sorry.
April birthday rules, Blue.
So what can I say except you're welcome? And thank you
CPT_.
Let's see what else we can pull up here.
Pirate's booty for your lightsaber fun, so you can duel with Ninja.
My guess is not very much. It's interesting how the streams go down. They immediately pull them off of here. But then other ones, they don't. Wait, did Arizona come back up, or are they still just hiding in the trees? AJ, thanks for coming in and saying hi. It looks like I'm registered. I think that's all I have to do to go. Plus get there like super early because I'm sure the lines are going to be insane. But yeah, if that goes off this Sunday, you might see a live stream pop up from good old Nevada. I like me some Nevada. I just need to stay away from those gambling machines. They get me every time. But interesting. Well, just as quick as this kicked off, everything just died. My plan was to get on a lot earlier, but wonderful Microsoft decided to hit me with the longest update I think I've ever had on a computer in my life. Which, of course, I mean, that's just how, what is that, Darwin's laws, or whatever you call that, not, it just, of course, whenever I want to go live, that's when my computer system is going to go down. And Andale, we're going to go ahead and play this here. Andale, thank you so much for that $20 dono. It took me forever to figure out who did that. So appreciated. It helps keep everything around here rolling. And your dono is much appreciated. Well, let's see if we can find... Oh, there's one. Let's look at this. They are live. They were live last night, and these guys were like chasing after 5-0s, like following the scanner.
What tow company was it?
They're chasing something.
All right,
see
guys.
what else I can
Just
find.
got an update on that accident that happened on the 99 up by McFarland and Delano. A tow truck operator was out loading up a stranded car, and he got rear-ended by another car, and he got pinned in between the car and the tow truck. The update just came across. He did pass away. Have you read this yet? No. Well, your little buddy's copy. I'll let you read it. Hey, everyone back out there. Yeah, they're on those drugs and alcohol affector. Yeah, they're in those We're gonna find out what tow company it is.
Code 33.
We're rolling code, guys.
Oh, it's a code 33 on our call.
That's where we're going.
Yeah. I thought it was they found that motorcycle again. But yeah, it's for our call.
Yeah, we are 5 minutes out.
Apparently drunk driver accident or something they're rolling to.
I put it in.
Oh, here we go. There's another stream.
Mode. Yeah.
It's pretty much just a copy of what we're watching down there right now,
Oh damn, here we go.
but it's another angle.
Hold
Oh,
on, Dad.
of course.
Tech channel 2.
You don't have any shit.
Oh, that's it right there.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think they went code 30. It's out, it's caught. It's purple. Don't want to be driving too fast.
Shit, you got a big shot.
Shit, well, a lot of them already know the interceptor now. We've only been driving it, what, 2 days, 3 days? Yeah, they already all, a lot of them already know them. We're using TAC 2. So it was an off-duty BPD officer that had the subject detained. SO is with him now.
PW, do you like something in your pocket?
Huh?
I can't read nothing.
These guys are just ripping around Zero Fox.
Don't be nervous.
Scammer's gone, guys.
I want to get married.
Yeah, it'll be pretty legit if this Sunday.
Oh, you want to get married Sunday?
Get to see that man right there.
No, I know.
Some people call him the president. Some people call him Trump. I like calling him Dad.
Hey, thanks, guys.
But yeah, we're gonna try. We'll see if it works. Dude, these TW Lives guys are hilarious.
I like Pata my Manu the Mom shoe. If she don't like it, that's on him. Pig's food.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes Pata, all that stuff, Mom.
Dusting off Mothman. Millions of teens were reported with PTSD after Twitter was down for an hour. Yeah, Twitter's been on one, man. The censorship today has been going nuts. It makes me wonder if Twitter was down for an hour. Makes you wonder if maybe they're not going to try to claim some type of hack, and maybe that's why they decided to censor one of the largest publications in the United States over a real story. For those of you who have not heard yet, I'm sure most of you have, Hunter has been caught pretty much red-handed, and I recommend you look into that. I believe it was the Post. Was it the Washington Post? That broke the story.
Why? I thought you loved Corvettes.
But Twitter censored them, shut them down. The press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, her Twitter account was shut down. Oh yeah, New York Post. Smoking gun email reveals how Hunter Biden introduced Ukrainian businessman to his father. And Fox News just 5 hours ago. New Hunter Biden emails detail alleged dealings with Chinese energy firm Burisma. You know, it's funny how they all were trying to say all of that was fake news. And how we were just conspiracy theorists and all this stuff. Turns out that's exactly what was going on.
I didn't run a red light.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Where we go?
Did not know that, Dustin. That is, that's nuts. And it would make sense. I mean, if corrupt Joe Biden was top trending and then it crashed, they shut it down for an hour and it comes back and, oh, sorry guys, we don't know what's trending anymore. This is the most corrupt thing I've seen happen in this country. And the thing is, they're so desperate that they're making mistakes that they typically wouldn't make because they know they're on their last legs, and they know that if Trump wins this election, like, the Democrat Party is going to have no choice but to reorganize and rebuild and come up with all new people. But all of their swamp people who have been screwing America over for generations now, they're going to be out. And it started with Hillary. It absolutely started with Hillary. She was the first to go down, and now they're all going down. But yeah, it's funny. They try to hit Trump with a quid pro quo for a simple phone call. How are they going to sit there? I'd like to hear Joe Biden explain how what Trump did was a quid pro quo, but what him and his son were doing isn't. That's what I want to know. I'd like to see that question asked in a debate, and after all this stuff, don't be surprised if he doesn't pull out of the next debate.
Yeah, you won't. Yeah. Yeah, over there, you only know.
We're talking about Mama Rose here.
No, man, she's trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Robert's trying to get him off that bandwagon. Then we can't be Robert West.
Damn. I'll just take the name still. You guys adopt me into the family.
Wait, I got a question, Pops. Do you mind dating tweakers?
Oh, Jesus. Damn.
No, I do not date tweakers. Oh, shit, I will never be related to you, Travis. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, shit. Whoa, damn, whoa.
Really, Dad?
Oh, they're pulling up on it now. You can see the whole pile.
He's messing around.
Drop his ass off.
Okay, girls, I gotta go. We can't park right here.
They're kicking me out. I don't think you can park here, can you?
Why not? What's the grand opening? Is it open?
It is.
What? Yeah, you can park it here. I don't know.
Ambulance in route.
Fiance available? Oh, financing available.
Fiance.
Oh, shit. Chill.
Is this your mom's house?
Damn, bro. Shit. Yeah, it's got me on that.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, look, they're over there in the yard. It looks like they got them on the ground or something. They're in the house right there. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Let's go to work.
I'll talk to you.
Oh, they getting out. They're just like, we're going to go check it out.
I'm taking the phone.
Popos ain't going to like that.
No, we got it.
No?
What was this call?
This was a call, let me take this picture.
Off-duty officer, let me find it. Possible 460, off-duty officer has subject prone at gunpoint. Oh, shit. How's it going tonight, boss? Another day of paradise, huh? You want to trade cars? You want to trade for my Interceptor for this one? This is probably got more. Hey, it's got turbos in it.
You tripped? Who tripped?
Might be able to walk around and catch it from the other side. Yeah.
Yep, FOS, man. First on scene.
Yeah. Shit, only on scene.
And TW just be out there chasing down the police scanners.
Oh, that's must be good. Nick Martinez. Something popping on.
Yeah, the stun bat ain't gonna do too much. The stun bat, I think, is because he assumes people don't have other things to combat that. But when people have weapons like that, it reminds me of the Indiana Jones movie where, you know, guy comes out, shows off all his skills, and Indiana Jones just pulls it out and pops him. Just like, I ain't got time for that. That's about how that goes down in the real world.
And they got yards.
They got yards, drum tank. They put about 40, 50 dudes in one.
Oh. Is this gonna work?
That means
Of course not. Let me.
Sometimes we do content for supporters only. Sometimes you guys get the content before we go live in the normal. Oops, sorry.
Let's see if I can do this. Oh, of course not. Of course not.
Oh, shit, he did.
Yeah, he's waving at us.
This
Oh,
stupid
that was EMT
update.
waving at us.
The call was for a 450.
Oh, here we go.
450. in
Boom.
progress and
Okay.
off-duty,
A little bit
BPD
better, eh?
officer,
I have notification
Rosedale and Callaway.
that the merch that I ordered from my store has arrived. It's at the post office box, but I have to go pick it up, and it's not close to here, so I need to go get it. But something showed up a little earlier. Y'all see that? That is the official SEAL Team 711 sticker right there.
Burglary in progress.
So I've got that. I've been getting pictures already of folks that have already gotten their hats, their hoodies, their shirts, their face masks. We've seen Jayad tonight with some pretty epic shots of him with this Tavor wearing the merch. We've seen Daywaste with this sticker book collection as well. So yeah, that is going great. If y'all are SEAL Team 711, check out SEALTeam711.com and click on the merch, and you will see what we've added. We've got a bunch of other things that are getting added in. Just about every day we've got some new merch items going in that are pretty dope. So if you get a chance, go check them out. Get on that SEAL Team gang.
Morning.
And I've also got it set up here. So supposedly, oh, did we lose asphalt? Supposedly, if you do a merch purchase while we're live, it's supposed to give a notification. Don't know how accurate that is, but it could be. I assume it is. Streamlabs is pretty good at that kind of stuff. Let's see if we can refresh asphalt.
Don't let Pops see that.
Oh, jeez.
Not looking like it. Let's see if we can get bare. Enhance.
Poor dad. You guys are so mean to my dad. Yeah, I'm just waiting on Facebook to send me the email that they approved my new watermark. No, wasn't it an off-duty PD officer had the suspect at gunpoint? Yeah, Donnie Youngblood's here.
Well, apparently we're some of the only people who've got streams up, because I'm looking at some of the other live streamers and they've got pictures of puppies playing and waterfalls and a bunch of other stuff, and they haven't bothered to refresh their stream. I'm assuming they're probably not right next to the paying attention.
Wow, Robert. You're fired. Hey guys, if we're not online, check out Muscle Media. Nick Martinez, if we're not on, check him out. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Huh?
Not right now. I'm not watching you guys right now.
Why not?
We got EMTs watching this too.
Here, hold that.
Here we go. T's gonna go over there and chat for about an hour.
You staying busy tonight? Hey, another day in paradise, right? Just a different toilet. Another day in paradise is a different toilet. As long as I'm not in a Chevron by the gas pump fucking.
Everybody knows our locations already. Ain't no secret.
Right?
Dog Park Live?
Yeah, the Youngblood came out, guys. I didn't even know that was Donnie Youngblood.
Yeah. There ain't much going. After these streams here, I don't know of anything else. I am open to suggestions. Oh, God. And Hill wants the puppy stream up, eh? Oh, God.
Big man.
Are we really going to do this? I think we're doing this.
Well, you know. Oh well, they're not all gonna like us. Yeah, I remember when the sheriffs did that. They got in big trouble for doing that. On the little sign right there, they'll say, "I'll kick your ass."
Hey, they voted to try and bring it back, too. I mean, they ain't lying.
Are you suffering from male balding? Do you need our green goo to fix your head? Check out Fisteroid or whatever Biotin. It costs over $1,000. Stupid commercials, etc. Refresh that. There we go. Now y'all got
read your comments. Only one comment
the puppy cam. Look at these two. They all think they acting like they're Ninja Turtles. He's playing with this. He's got nunchucks, or freaking those aren't nunchucks. Those what are those called? What Raphael used to have. Why am I forgetting, man? I haven't been old forever. I should remember this. What are those called? Nunchucks was Michelangelo. Raphael had the oh, I'm gonna feel stupid when I hear it.
Yeah, guys. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to read the comments on my phone and trying to give you guys a shot, but yeah, this as it came over the scanner as no officer involved shooting, so.
Oh, well, maybe I wouldn't remember that. It's called a twin side. Interesting.
And it has not been confirmed.
The twin side. That was Raphael's weapon. But yeah, he had twin sides.
Confirmation on no officer
And
shooting, guys.
then the other guy had his fancy stick, as we'll call it.
Oh man! Damn, I'm getting clowned by the EMT guys.
Robert, grab one of those milk crates real quick. Oh,
This guy's getting clowned by the EMT, huh?
we just need to kick that motherfucker to your ass.
Ooh, damn! Jesus, bro.
Spicy.
Damn, bro, we're on live, bro.
Y'all see that Challenger right there, though?
No kids should be awake at 1 in the
Looks like it's just a
Oh, you'd be
5.7,
surprised.
but it looks like it says Hemi on the side.
Have Donnie sign the car.
And you can see the
Rob?
back
I don't think he's
or
gonna
the
wanna sign
front to
her car.
determine
I'll
what
tell Travis
year
to ask, though.
range it is. It looks to me like it has just a standard hood on it, so definitely not upgraded or no nothing too fancy, just a Hemi Challenger. Still nice. It's still nice though.
Travis.
So you made it to my neighborhood.
Oh man, Shane. Shane just comes out of nowhere.
Oh really, Chalupa? I did not know that.
Oh man.
I'm here at Callaway and Rosedale. I'm here, Jack. So it wasn't.
Guys, it's only 1 in the morning, and
No,
everyone
I
in
haven't
Portland
been
has already
texting my
left,
phone. I'm
and
barely trying to
nothing's
stay
going
with these
on.
comments right now.
I don't believe that.
Oh, you want me to hold the phone so you can
Yeah.
talk to your mom? It's probably got
Alright.
something to do with Pops.
Cool.
So young blood was here?
That's his SUV right behind me.
He's right there.
Yeah, that's right, Elizabeth. He's not a sheriff, he's the sheriff.
A lot higher
He's like 6 foot.
This was for attempted burglary, I believe, and an off-duty officer had him at gunpoint waiting for backup.
Then I can't read the comments. So
Trying to see what other streams we might have out there.
Once again, guys, thank you for
I
all
could
the
see size being as a
donations.
tool
They
for
are
planting
greatly
seeds, but like, what's the point of the two pieces on this, two forks on the side? You know, like you'd think you just need that little stabbing thing, so you could like till up the dirt and then poke down in the middle to plant the seed.
And if you can't donate,
Suppose
that's
that would
fine
make
too.
sense.
yeah, well, tonight he is.
Yeah, it seems like all these streamers. I'm watching. Someone's got a DJ up. What is that? Apparently, they've got some protests going on in Bangkok.
If I could get a total of 500 stars between now and when they leave, I will ask Donnie Youngblood to sign the back of the Interceptor.
What is that?
Hey, Rob, keep an eye on the stars. I just told him if we could get 500 of them, I'll ask Donnie Youngblood to sign the back of the...
We got 200 already.
Well, I think I said it right after that.
Yeah, they're live.
Yeah. Okay, Angie just sent 100 stars. Thank you, Angie. Oh, here we go, guys.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Money shot, guys.
That guy got messed up.
Rhonda, thank you for the stars. All right, well, we hit the 500 mark, guys.
I want to move over here. We got beats coming. Oh, yeah.
Well, guys, that was the guy.
We need to skip one of these days and put me on one of those things. Put me on camera.
I just wanted to meet you guys. Thanks, Frank.
There we go. So yeah, in Thailand apparently they got some protesting going on.
No, skinny jeans.
Oh, the skinny jeans.
Yeah. What's up, my guy?
Hello, Travis. Nice to finally meet you. Nice to finally meet you. Nice to meet you. I mean, shit. I watched you guys.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that, Chalupa. That makes sense though. The first thing I'd be grabbing out of my shed would be like a big old machete if I didn't have a bunch of firearms.
Yeah, we're having signed the first responders and stuff. We're signing the all the first responders.
All right, guys, hold on. Now I'm back reading. Well, there goes the suspect. They're taking him.
You know what we can do here, since all this stuff kind of just died off.
You guys, I don't know if it will zoom in good enough because of all the lights. No, we are not at a Goodwill. What business is this? Apricot? I don't know what that is. Was who young or old? Whoa, who's dropping the N-bombs? Dalton?
Don't know if this is going to
Let
work,
us know who's dropping N-bombs.
but it's going to be a great test.
Moderators, go through and see if you could find out what Dalton was talking about.
I was hoping to find a direct link to this video.
Angie, it was a...
No. That could work.
Thank you, Bounty.
Sorry, guys. I know I'm trying to find
It's under TW
this
Live.
news
There was a
report I want to pull
moderator.
up.
Okay, you guys, we will get to the bottom of that. That is not. Tyler, go ahead and send that to Travis also, and Robert, and myself if you can. Okay, Zarara, please refrain from using that kind of language, please. We do not like that in our chat, on our page, anywhere. Please. Jeff Bridges. How you doing, Jeff? Welcome to the page. We are currently at a scene where a gentleman was attempting to break into this, I guess you could call it a company, and an off-duty officer was able to respond, hold him at gunpoint until backup arrived, and they've already taken him off. We already got the money shot on that one.
Okay, I think I figured out how to do
Let's
this.
not argue, please.
Man, they do not
Let's
make
just,
that easy.
Let's just make sure that doesn't happen again.
I still don't know if it's
And
going to
if
work.
it
I'm
does,
going
you
to try.
will be blocked. There's no warnings on that. There's no racism or anything like that. We do not condone that. We will not tolerate that.
Oh, did we lose Bear? Well, I guess there's no better time than now to do this, huh? Let's go. Let's see if I can get this to work.
Tammy, Youngblood cannot leave. I'm right in front of his
Yes.
SUV.
Your Fox News update on Facebook Watch. The fallout growing this morning from the bombshell report on Hunter Biden's emails. President Trump now demanding answers from Joe Biden as the former VP's campaign denies any ties to Hunter's business in Ukraine. Ashley Strohmeyer joins me live with a fiery reaction on both sides. Ashley, what you got?
Hey, Carly. After the New York Post initially released those emails, President Trump followed up at a rally Wednesday night demanding Joe Biden release the phone calls, emails, and then everything in between in connection to his family's business dealings. Listen.
We've just learned through explosive documents published by a very fine newspaper, the New York Post, that Joe Biden has been blatantly lying about his involvement in his son's corrupt business dealing. And this is a big smoking gun.
Those emails showing the vice president's son, Hunter, was allegedly
Smoking
asked
gun,
by
by
his
the
advisor,
way.
Burisma,
Huge smoking
whether
gun.
he could
October
use his
surprise.
influence to help stop politically motivated actions against the company, while another email from Burisma advisor thanked him for, quote, inviting me to D.C. and giving an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. Emails obtained by Fox News also show Hunter Biden had plans to meet with State Department officials about the Burisma probe. And the information was discovered by the owner of a computer repair shop in Delaware. That man claims Hunter Biden brought his computer in for service back in 2019 and then never picked it up. Once he found those emails on the computer's hard drive, he turned it into the FBI.
Is there any thought in your mind that this might not have been Hunter's and might have been somebody trying to set Hunter up?
No.
Okay.
No.
The Democratic nominee's campaign responded denying any wrongdoing and said, quote, the New York Post never asked the Biden campaign about the critical elements of this story. Meanwhile, the Senate Homeland Security Committee has launched an investigation into the validity of those emails.
And I take everything that our committee receives, everything I hear with a huge grain of salt, particularly when it's coming from countries like Ukraine that have a history of corruption. He contacted us the day after we issued our report. We have talked to him, but we're in the process of validating his claims. We take it all with a grain of salt.
And more backlash breaking out overnight. This after social media appeared to censor that story. The New York Post account completely shut down by Twitter, and users were blocked from even sharing or distributing that report. And Twitter released a statement defending its block under
it's a huge
so-called
missile.
material
If that doesn't
policy.
take Biden down,
CEO Jack Dorsey apologized for the block, saying Twitter's
I really don't know what will.
unacceptable. But as of this morning, the New York Post account was still locked down. Carly.
Yeah, this is a wild story and honestly made a bigger deal because of what Twitter and Facebook did to limit it. People are becoming more and more curious and want answers now, even maybe more than before, if they had just let the story be posted per usual. But anyway, more to come on that one. Ashley, thanks so much.
No problem.
Okay, the social media censorship reaching all
Yeah,
the
the
way
censorship
to the White
has become an even bigger story than the actual
says she was also
corruption.
locked out of her Twitter account after she shared the story.
It's not a temporary blockage. When I log onto my Twitter account, it says I'm permanently banned. They essentially have me at gunpoint and said, unless you delete a news story reported by the New York Post, I cannot regain access to my account. This is censorship. It is not the American way. This is not how a freedom-loving democracy operates. And we have to hold Twitter accountable. And Facebook, too, is banning the transmission of the story simply because, ideologically, it hurts the side of the aisle that Silicon Valley prefers. It's sad. It's censorship. This is not America.
Missouri Senator Josh Hawley is calling on the Federal Election Commission to investigate Twitter and Facebook over the censorship. Okay, in just hours, the final day of Judge Amy Coney Barrett's Supreme Court confirmation hearing will kick off. The judge standing her ground as Democrats threw hard-hitting questions her way yesterday. Vice presidential nominee Kamala Harris pressing Barrett on climate change.
Do you accept that COVID-19 is infectious?
That's an obvious fact, yes.
Section
Do you accept that
230 C-2 provides immunity from civil liabilities for information service providers that remove or restrict content from their services. They deem obscene, lewd, lascivious, filthy, excessively violent, harassing, or otherwise objectionable, whether or not such material is constitutionally protected.
I mean, she kind of nailed that answer.
I agree with you, Dustin.
Democrats also leveling accusations that she will strike down Obamacare if confirmed and tie her philosophy to that of her mentor, Justice Scalia.
I hope that you aren't suggesting that I don't have my own mind or that I couldn't think independently or that I would just decide, like, oh, let me see what Justice Scalia has said about this in the past, because I assure you I have my own mind.
Now, Judge Barrett is done testifying. Today, the committee takes the next steps towards confirmation, and we'll hear from a panel of experts. Chairman Graham hopes to have a committee vote on the nomination a week from today. Meantime, a moment of levity from the judge when she revealed how she was about to unwind after
the glass of wine
hours
incident.
of questioning.
I hope you got some rest last night. I think that's true of all of us.
So I did have a glass of wine. I'll tell you that I needed that at the end of the day.
Well, let me just say on that kind of point, you have a right to remain silent.
The hearing part is over. You can have 2 glasses of wine tonight if you like.
Okay, another long day on Wednesday. Questioning lasted nearly 9 hours, 11 hours on Tuesday. A Pennsylvania county is resending nearly 29,000 ballots to voters. Election officials say a printing error caused them to receive ballots with wrong information in Allegheny County. The ballots are being corrected. Delivery is expected to start today. First Lady Melania Trump details her experience with COVID-19 and reveals her son also tested positive. Her
3
symptoms
scoops,
included
baby.
body aches, a cough,
You
headache,
must be
and
watching
fatigue.
Liberal Hive
Barrett
Mind.
had
That's
no
right.
symptoms. They have both since tested
3.
negative.
We getting
In a
3.
statement, the First
They
Lady
can't
saying,
stop that.
It's my hope COVID-19 will be another
And we know they want to pack the court, you know. But now that they've said that, what's going to stop us from packing the court if we win?
If you were sick,
They were going to do it.
thinking of you and will be thinking of you every day. Listen to this. A Chick-fil-A employee jumps into action to save a choking child.
Okay, I'm going to pull this.
Interceptor. Sorry, guys.
I was trying to stick to the Hunter Biden topic, but there is an update. Apparently, they have called people to come testify already about the censoring about it. So, let's see if we can't get that up.
Put you on citizen's arrest.
Talking like a high
Citizens
school girl.
arrest, by the way.
Just fresh out of cheer class right now.
President Trump holding a campaign rally
Hours before he and Joe Biden hold dueling town halls later tonight, President seized on new accusations against Joe and Hunter Biden, saying that the Bidens got rich while America got robbed. And he took a shot at Biden before the two take separate stages tonight.
They're doing him on ABC. And actually, I'd like to watch him because I want to see if he can make it through the program.
The Biden campaign says Joe Biden never engaged in any wrongdoing as it relates to his son's business dealings with Ukraine when he was the vice president. Some outrage on Capitol Hill among Republicans after Twitter and Facebook restricted access to the Hunter Biden story online.
The power behind these platforms have been taken to a level that truly is dangerous. Nobody in Twitter and social media shut down anything about Trump and Russia.
So a Democrat in the Senate Judiciary Committee defending the social media giants a bit earlier this afternoon.
Facebook and Twitter have policies to not spread things that are utterly unreliable, that have been debunked, and where their origin is untrustworthy. They're practicing their own internal controls, as I wish they had over the past 4 years.
So I talked to constitutional law expert Jonathan Turley about this last hour on the Fox News channel.
No, it's incredibly troubling. I mean, this smacks of something that you would associate with the state media, but this is a form of private censorship, particularly in terms of Twitter. And it may or may not be true, but it is news. The newspaper has produced these photographs, these emails. Either way, this is an important story. If it's fabricated, this is very important, just as it is very important if this is true. But what these companies did is say, we don't want you to read the story. We don't want you to be discussing the story. And that's really outrageous. I mean, that is a form of private censorship.
Some Republicans are calling social media moves election interference 19 days out from an election day. Tonight was supposed to be the second presidential debate. Now there is breaking news that pertains to what would have been a town hall. And this gentleman here, this is Steve Scully from C-SPAN.
Damn, I did not see this.
Earlier today, C-SPAN announcing that he will be suspended indefinitely after lying about his Twitter feed being hacked. You might recall about a week ago, Scully had tweeted at Anthony Scaramucci the following: should I respond to Trump? Well, that raised a lot of eyebrows and a lot of people wondering what that tweet was all about. And now Scully, who said he had been hacked about a week ago, now admits to lying about it.
We all knew he was lying, but now he admits to lying. Holy cow.
Story. It is a big black eye for the debate commission, which already had black eyes with the way it handled the COVID and canceling the debate, going virtual, not telling them
Guys, everything is falling apart for the Democrats right now.
Well, Scully was supposed to hold a town hall tonight with Joe Biden and Donald Trump. That will not happen. However, there are twin town halls tonight in prime time. Joe Biden is in Philadelphia. Donald Trump is in Miami. We'll see how it goes in separate cities. Group of residents, meanwhile, and businesses here in New York City are suing the city after the mayor, Bill de Blasio, announced.
And what's crazy is I didn't even know
hotel on the Upper West Side of Manhattan to
the town hall was going to happen. Y'all watch the town hall? Was it worth watching?
The spread of COVID-19 and the shelters. And
I need to watch it. And I haven't been able to do that. I've been really busy, but I'm also not opposed to putting it up right now and watching and putting some streams up on the sides while we go over it. If people would like to see that. If not, I'll log off and watch it myself. But
you've almost made it almost Friday. We'll see you then. I'm Bill Hemmer, live or on demand.
Don't tell them what you're doing. We don't need the apricot door. Wow.
Yeah, he opened up his apricot door, that's for sure. He done let all the seeds out too.
What size hoodie do you wear? Oh,
he's got a walk.
I guess it really depends because everybody's sizes are so different, but either an XL or a double XL, depending on how it fits. Yes, please. Hey, let's do it. Let's do it, Chalupa. Let's put up the debate or the town hall and see what happened.
Pretty bad. Oh yeah. See about bleeding? I didn't see nobody bleeding.
It looked like he was bleeding from his head. Yeah.
Oh.
What do you think they had paramedics come through?
He's getting up there.
Yeah, I have the giggles right now, guys.
The
You know what I'm
apricot
saying?
fart.
It's all gas, no brake. All gas, no brake.
Yeah, the giggles out of both ends.
He's talking about my mouth, guys. My nose.
Streamed 7 hours ago, but I'm seeing it from CNBC. I do not want to give them even a view, so we'll find it from someone else. Here's the highlights.
This was an off-duty officer.
Looks like it's about an hour long. That sounds about right to me. We'll keep monitoring the streams to see if anything else pops up, but
Yeah, I know
The
that.
guy was trying to break in
Yeah.
to the apricot door.
But I was just wondering because they had two big dogs from each department right here.
yeah, okay. Let me see if Right Side Broadcasting had it.
Oh, it's a beauty salon? I didn't know it was a beauty salon.
Oh, is it?
I just don't want to give.
All right, I'll call you right now.
And of course, he had a Make America Great Again rally
I didn't do
in
nothing.
North Carolina today too.
Yes, no, they're lying. All right, Bubba. I didn't guess it.
Hang on.
What?
Hang on.
All right.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. Whoever's
So
technical
Right Side did
difficulties, we'll
not
be back
have
shortly.
it. Man, I'm gonna have to give someone else. I'm not giving MSNBC a single damn view. They can save their views. I streamed. Was CNBC hosting the damn thing? Yeah, I think they were. I'm seeing that Telemundo had it. I think it was all CNBC, but I'd rather, God, my options here are terrible. I've got NBC, I've got Bloomberg, a bunch of NBC and CNBC crap. And yeah, you can guarantee I refuse to put that up. Yeah, I remember him saying something about that. How does apparently it looks like NBC owns the rights to it, so I don't think we have a choice here. I think we have to watch it on NBC. Apparently they own the rights, so man, that's frustrating. All right, we got to pick here. I think Telemundo is probably going to be in Spanish, so we got CNBC or CNBC Television. I guess it's not MSNBC, but all the same. God, I hate this. I guess we're going with the one that has the most views already, so that we don't give someone else the views. That was a difficult decision. That was a very difficult decision. I was not wanting to give him a view from me, but All right, let's see if I can get this in here. Looks like we're going to have to refresh these commercials here. Let's see if that works. No, we're going to be watching some commercials for a second, apparently. Oh, here we go. All right. You know what? I feel like a fool, guys. I had a top chat instead of live chat posted, so I was missing all kinds of comments. My apologies. The Trump town hall yesterday was typical of mainstream media. The interviewers are complete libtard Karens. Should make for some good Trump comebacks then, eh? Yeah, Chalupa XL or double XL. I'm like right in the between. It's like the double XL fits too big and the XL is just a little tight, you know, but
We are thrilled to have you tonight, and we are very honored by the presence of our president, Donald Trump, who is going to walk in right now, and we are about 30 seconds from air, so it'll be just in time, Mr. President.
interesting. Hopefully they got their glitchiness figured out here. They said they were having technical difficulties.
This is an NBC News special presentation of Today with Savannah Guthrie.
What?
Tonight, Donald Trump in the arena. His first primetime network appearance since falling ill with coronavirus.
I'm feeling great. I don't know about you. How's everyone feeling?
With tonight's debate canceled, the president faces our questions live and hears from voters about their concerns in the battleground state of Florida.
It's great to be back in my home state, Florida, to make my official return to the campaign.
What in the world?
With just 19 days to go,
Is this accurate?
makes his case.
My goal is to fight for you and fight for your family.
From NBC News, Decision 2020, President Trump Town Hall. Live from the Perez Art Museum in Miami, here's Savannah Guthrie.
There we go. We were having technical difficulties apparently.
Welcome to Miami and our town hall with President Donald Trump. And we want to say right off the top, this is not how things were supposed to go tonight. This was supposed to be a town hall debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. But after the president contracted COVID, the debate commission announced it would have to be a virtual debate because of health concerns. The president then said he would not participate in a virtual debate. At that point, Joe Biden scheduled a town hall tonight in Pennsylvania on another network, and now the president is doing the same, his own town hall with the same venue, format, and time.
I will be right back.
With Joe Biden last week. So the two candidates go head-to-head tonight, though not face-to-face, each in a key battleground state. And tonight, the president will be taking questions from voters here in Miami, who we should mention are socially distanced and they're wearing masks. And I should say, this audience looks a bit like America. It's divided. Some here voted for the president in 2016 and plan to again. Some support Joe Biden, and some say they are truly undecided. We're going to get a mix of questions on a range of topics, and we're going to get to those questions in a moment. But first, with all that ado, welcome, Mr. President, and thank you for being here.
That was very well stated, I have to say. Good job.
Thank you. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're well. We send our best to the First Lady and to Barron.
Thank you.
Do you have any remaining symptoms from COVID?
Nothing whatsoever. I'm great. I feel good. Was in North Carolina today and did a big rally. We had tremendous turnout, and just feel really good. Florida, Pennsylvania. And they said, let's go to the hospital. I said, that's okay. I'm going to, respond to what you say. And we went over to Walter Reed, where you have tremendous professionals. They gave me Regeneron and Remdesivir both. And all I know is I felt good the following day. I felt really good.
Did the doctors ever tell you that they saw pneumonia on your lung scans?
No, but they said the lungs are, a little bit different, a little bit perhaps infected. And
infected with?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't do too much asking. I really felt good. I didn't have much of a problem with the lungs. I did have a little bit of a temperature. Obviously, I felt there was something missing. And then I tested, I tested positive.
Well, let's talk about testing, because there's a little bit of confusion about this, and I think we can clear it up.
Yeah, and there should be.
Your first positive test was Thursday, October 1st, okay? When was your last negative test? When did you last remember having a negative test?
Well, I test quite a bit, and I can tell you that before the debate, which I thought it was a very good debate, and I felt fantastic.
It cut out.
I had no problem before.
What cut out?
Did you test the day of the debate? I don't know.
TV, welcome to the stream, brother. We're doing the late night. We've missed the town hall, so now we're catching up stream.
I think it was Thursday evening, maybe even late Thursday evening. I tested positive. That's when I first found out about it.
Back to the debate, because the debate commission's rules, it was the honor system, would be that you would come with a negative test. You say you don't know if you got a test on the day of the debate?
I have no problem. Again, the doctors do it. I don't ask them. I test all the time, and
did you take a test, though, on the day of the debate?
You know, if you ask the doctor, they'll give you a perfect answer.
Yeah.
But they take a test, and I leave, and I go about my business.
Did you take a test on the day of the debate, I guess, is the bottom line.
Probably did.
Hey, I appreciate the like, brother, man.
The day before, and I was always in great shape. And I was in great shape.
Glad to see you here.
And it was only after the debate.
For those of us who were late to the party, we're going over this town hall that happened tonight. Heard that lady in the back right there with the red mask.
Button it up. Do you take a test every single day?
Oh, well, I guess you guys don't see where I'm pointing.
And you don't know if you took a test the day of the debate.
Lady over there, sitting behind Trump, with the red mask on, she was nodding her head and doing thumbs up to Trump the whole time. I saw some type of news report like that, so something to watch out for.
But I was in great shape for the debate. And sometime after the debate, I tested positive.
Let's talk about...
That's when they decided to let's go.
Okay, good. I hopefully provided some clarity for folks.
Yeah, she's bomb.
The event that was held at the
She looks real bomb.
On the Saturday before you tested positive. Subsequent to that, 13 people connected to that event tested positive. There was an outdoor reception. You've seen the pictures. There was an indoor reception. People were not wearing masks. My question to you is, at this point in the pandemic, knowing what we know, shouldn't you have known better? Shouldn't the White House know better than to hold an event like that?
God.
Well, they do a lot of testing in the White House. They test everybody, including me, but they test everybody. And something happened, but as far as the mask is concerned, I'm good with masks. I'm okay with masks. I tell people wear masks. But just the other day, they came out with a statement that 85% of the people that wear masks catch it. So
yeah, the puppy bouncers.
That's what I heard, and that's what I saw. And
let's do something about this other stream that cut out.
And they tested often. And I also knew that, hey, I'm president. I have to see people. I can't be in a basement. I can't be in a room. I have to be out.
You can see people with a mask, though, right?
I can, but people with masks are catching it all the time. I mean, if you look at the governor of Virginia, he was known for a mask. If you look at Tom Tillis, a great guy, he always had a mask, and they caught it.
Well, there are pictures of Tom Tillis, actually, with one of Judge Barrett's kids not wearing a mask. But, you know, Chris Christie, he was part of your debate prep.
Yeah.
He was, I believe, at that event. He came out tonight. He was sick, very sick. He was in the hospital for about a week. He came out tonight and said, I was wrong not to wear a mask.
Well, I mean, he has to say that. I think it's great. He's a friend of mine. He's a good guy. And wrong or not wrong, you have to understand, as president, I can't be locked in a room someplace for the next year and just stay and do nothing. And every time I go into a crowd, I was with the parents of our fallen heroes. These people are the most incredible people. And they came up to me, and they would hug me, and they would touch me, and I'm not going to not let them do it.
Now, there was an event with the Gold Star families the day after the Supreme Court event.
A Gold Star event with the most incredible people you've ever seen. And I could have chosen not
So they put her out there to just grill the president. Is this a town hall or is this a grilling?
I don't think that's probably where it was caught, but maybe it
was.
was.
I was going to say, you bring it up. You brought it up yourself. I mean, are you trying to suggest that? Do you believe a grieving military family gave you COVID?
No, I don't know where it came from.
Okay.
And you don't know where it came from, and the doctors don't know where it came from. But as the president, I have to be out there. I also know...
Well, there's no one that says you can't be out there, but it's just about wearing masks and having... For example, your rallies. Your rallies don't require masks.
No, I mean, let's see Kamala. She's got people now that people have it, and I'm not blaming her. I'm not saying, oh, she did a terrible thing. As president, I have to be out there. I can't be in a basement. I can't be locked in a very beautiful room someplace in the White House. And I want to see the
Biden for pudding cup 2020.
And I also
You're damn right it came from China. Freaking China virus for sure.
You're right. You want to be a leader, but you also are a leader and a setter of an example. And if you're not wearing a mask when your administration is saying best practice right now is wear a mask, no, it's not.
I think it's funny that Biden tries to say that Trump's hiding in his basement, but it's Biden that's been hiding in the basement.
And it shouldn't have been allowed to happen. But many people are getting this, and I mean, nobody's being blamed. Everybody is working hard to get this thing out of our country, get it out of the world. Look at what's going on in Europe. Massive spikes. They've done a very good job, but now you take a look today at the UK, you take a look at Spain and France and Italy. There's tremendous spikes.
But our death rate is worse than, well, not Spain, but those other countries.
I have things right here that will tell you exactly the opposite.
Me too.
So the UK is up 2,500%, because I knew you'd be doing this. I know you very well. The UK is up 2,500%. The EU is up 722%.
By the way, I don't know if y'all caught my hat.
But we have, our deaths per capita is among the highest among in death rate.
Excess mortality, we're a winner on the excess mortality. And what we've done has been amazing. And we have done an amazing job. And it's rounding the corner.
Pretty dope hat.
We have the vaccines coming and we have the therapies coming. And I'll tell you what.
My father actually gifted it to me, so good on him. I was obviously raised right.
We're looking at, like in this case, Regeneron. And Eli Lilly makes something that's supposed to be incredible. And I think that maybe I wouldn't be doing this discussion with you right now. We have therapies now, and cures maybe, you can use the word cure, but we have therapies that are absolutely incredible.
I want to pick up on something you just said. You said we're rounding the corner.
I believe we're rounding the corner.
Now, 10% of the country approximately has had COVID. That means 80, 90%, 90%, let's do the math, is still vulnerable.
Right.
There's been some talk, including from the White House lately, that perhaps it approves of what's called herd immunity. That's where you basically just let young people and everybody get sick. You try to protect the old people and those who are sick, and hopefully it gets up to a certain level, and now we're all immune. So let's just be clear about it. It also means more deaths. Do you support herd immunity as a strategy? Essentially just let people get sick.
The cure cannot be worse than the problem itself. We did the right thing.
There she is nodding in the background.
We were expected to lose 2,200,000 people and maybe more than that. We're at 210,000 people. One person is too much. It should have never happened because of China. It happened because of China. And you have to get that and understand that. But it shouldn't have happened. But we were expected to lose. If you look at the original charts from original doctors who are respected by everybody, 2,200,000
That 2 million figure, though, is if you literally did nothing. The 2 million figure is if you did absolutely nothing, it would be 2 million. The question is, should the deaths be better than 200,000 when relative to the rest of the world we have a worse death rate?
Man, this lady is... Is it not completely obvious what a freaking deep state turd she is?
A lockdown where nobody but her husband can do anything. He can go boating and do whatever he wants, but nobody else can. The fact
Thank you,
is
Dustin.
we're winning all these cases because it's
I love the hat as well. I don't get to wear it often enough.
Doing it for political reasons, but the fact is, the cure. You can't let this continue to go on with the lockdowns.
Well, most
and I
of the
believe
states,
that on November 4th, you're going to have a lot of these governors. Look at what's happening to New York. New York is a mess. They lost almost.
They're attacking him on COVID because it's the only thing they have. They literally don't have anything else. If they wanted to beat Trump, they could do it. But they'd have to do it by telling people policies, things that they would do for people. But their entire platform has been attack Trump, attack Trump, attack Trump. And that's all they've got. It's Orange Man bad, pull an emotional heartstrings, and try to attack COVID.
Watching you on a debate stage right now. We're not doing that, so let's clear up a few things from the last one. You were asked point blank to denounce white supremacy. In the moment, you didn't. You asked some follow-up questions.
Here we go.
Who specifically? A couple of days later, on a different show, you denounced white supremacy. My question to you is,
you've done this to me and everybody.
Why does it seem like
I denounce white supremacy? Okay,
you did 2 days
denounced
later.
white supremacy for years, but you always do it. You always start off with a.
There she is nodding in the back. This was good for Trump.
Whether or not he denounces Antifa. I watched him on the same basic show with Lester Holt, and he was asking questions like Biden was a child.
Well, so this is a little bit of a dodge.
Are you listening? I denounce white supremacy.
Okay.
What's your next question?
Do you feel, it feels sometimes you're hesitant to do so, like you wait a beat.
Here we go again. Every time, in fact, my people came, I'm sure they'll ask
He can scream it. I absolutely vehemently denounce white supremacy. It sounds like you're kind of beating around. Jesus Christ, these people are nuts.
Run by Democrats. Democrats who don't
All
know
right,
what
while
they're
we're
doing.
denouncing, let me ask you about QAnon. It is this theory that Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring and that you are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that that is completely not true and that disavow QAnon in its entirety?
I know nothing about QAnon.
I just told you.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't necessarily make it fact. I hate to say that. I know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard, but I know nothing about it.
They believe it is
If
a
you'd like
satanic
me
cult
to
run by the deep
study the
state.
subject, I'll tell you what I do know about. I know about Antifa, and I know about the radical left, and I know how violent they are and how vicious they are, and I know how they're burning down cities run by Democrats, not run by
Republican
Republicans.
Senator Ben Sass said
Boom.
QAnon is nuts. And
There was a nice
here's all
punch.
Conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories.
He may be
Why not
right.
just say it's
Can I be
crazy
honest?
and not true?
He may be right. I just don't know about QAnon.
You do know.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me
tell
ask you
all
another
about it.
thing.
Let's waste the whole show. You start off with white supremacy. I denounce it. You start off with something else. Let's go. Keep asking me these questions.
I do have one more in this vein.
Let me just tell you, what I do hear about it is they are very strongly against pedophilia. And I agree with that. I mean, I do agree with that, and I agree
But
with it
there's not
very
a
strongly.
satanic pedophile.
I have
cult
no
being run
idea.
by-
I know
You
nothing
don't know
about
that? Okay.
No, I don't know
You
that.
just
and
this
neither
week.
do you know that.
Okay, just this week
Why
you
aren't
retweeted.
you asking me about Antifa? Why aren't you asking me
Because you're
about the
just-
radical?
Ooh.
Why aren't you asking Joe Biden questions about why doesn't he condemn Antifa? Why does he say it doesn't exist?
Because you're here to
Antifa.
inform me.
No, excuse so cute. Antifa.
Did he say so cute?
They're vicious, they're violent, they kill people, and they're burning down our cities. And they happen to be radical left.
Just this week, you retweeted to your 87 million followers a conspiracy theory that Joe Biden orchestrated to have SEAL Team 6, the Navy SEAL Team 6, killed.
SEAL Team 711, you get it right.
Now, why would you send a lie like that to your followers? You retweeted
That was a
it.
retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I
You're
don't
the
take a
president.
position.
You're not like someone's crazy uncle who can just retweet whatever.
That was a retweet, and I do a lot of retweets. And frankly, because the media is so fake and so corrupt, if I didn't have social media, I don't call it Twitter, I call it social media, I wouldn't be able to get the word out. And the word is, and you know what the word is? The word is very simple. We're building our country stronger and better than it's ever been before. And that's what's happening, and everybody knows it.
Okay, we
You
got
know
a bunch
what
of
else the word
questions
is?
for you.
We're winning in a lot of states.
Okay.
We're winning in a lot of states. You can
Let
say
me
that.
ask, okay, I'm glad you brought up the election because I do want to ask about that. That's another kind of leftover item. A lot of people have asked you, will you accept a peaceful transfer of power? You have said repeatedly, the only way we lose this election is if it is rigged. Now, that is simply not true. The fact is either candidate can lose fair and square without ballot
Okay.
fraud.
And
So
you know
will you
what?
accept the results
Win or
of the
lose,
election?
That's the way I want it to be. But when I see thousands of ballots, right, unsolicited ballots being given out by the millions, and thousands of them are dumped in dumpsters, and when you see ballots with the name Trump, military ballots from our great military, and they're dumped in garbage cans.
That is a handful. We could go all night, which we won't.
No,
but
no,
we
it's
could go all
happening
night,
every day.
one by one, a single case, a single day. You're talking about 150 million votes. Your own FBI director says there is no evidence of widespread
Oh, really?
fraud.
Well, then he's not doing a very good job. All you have to do is pick up the papers every day. 50,000 in Ohio, the great state of Ohio. 50,000 in another location, I think North Carolina. 500,000 applications in Virginia. No, there's a tremendous problem. But let me just tell you, they talk about the peaceful transfer, right? They spied on my campaign and they got caught, and they spied heavily on my campaign, and they tried to take down a duly elected sitting president. And then they talk about, will you accept a peaceful transfer? And the answer is yes, I will. But I want it to be an honest election. When I see thousands of ballots dumped in a garbage can and they happen to have my name on it, I'm not happy about
Okay,
that.
but just those are cases. There is in fact no evidence of widespread fraud, and you were sowing doubt about our democracy. Our democracy.
How can you say that? You do read newspapers.
I do.
You do watch the news. I know you read the news, but you watch it.
I do.
because every day they're talking about ballots that are corrupt, that are fraudulent.
And millions that are being processed right now.
But you can win a race. Take a look at me. You can win a race by 1%.
She is. It's extremely obvious just how off her rocker she is.
You know what? I don't want that to happen. Savannah,
Like, whoever named her MSM Karen,
but I want this to be
they were
clean.
spot on.
But it's sort of ironic that you and them talk about the peaceful transfer when I spent 3.5 years fighting off these maniacs, and now it turns out, everything's there, that they were the ones that dealt with Russia. And it's too bad. But peaceful transfer, I absolutely want that. But ideally, I don't want to transfer because I want to win.
Yes, and I think that your words will probably reassure some folks. Let's get to our first voter. We've got Jacqueline Lugo. Now, she is, I told you this
about
audience
time
is
for
truly
getting
split between
Karen to
y'all.
shut the hell up.
You are leaning Biden. She voted for Clinton in 2016. She's registered as an independent. Jacqueline, what's your question for the president?
Yeah, you're damn right. Every vote needs to count.
It's hard to hear out here.
Good evening.
How are you?
Welcome to Miami.
Thank you very much. It's beautiful.
Mr. President, if you knew
He tells her she's beautiful.
COVID-19, as you told Bob Woodward in February.
As what?
As you told Bob Woodward in February, was airborne and deadlier than the flu, why did you only put in place a travel ban from China and not put in place other measures mitigating the spread of COVID-19, potentially saving tens of thousands of American lives?
Well, I did put it in very early, as you know. Joe Biden was 2 months behind me. And
Who do you think wrote that question for her? I don't think she wrote that question.
And it turned out that I was
It sure sounded like a freaking talking point if I've ever heard one before.
There was a lot of infection in Europe. And it's sort of an amazing question. And I appreciate the question and respect the question. But the news doesn't get out the right answer, because I put on a travel ban far earlier than Dr. Fauci thought it was necessary, who I like, far earlier than the scientists. I was actually the only one that wanted to put it on, and I did it actually against the advice of a lot of people, including Nancy Pelosi, who had no clue what she was doing, and Biden. When I put on the travel ban, I put it on in January, the end of January. When I
Sorry, mic was off. They were all telling us that we didn't need masks at the very beginning as well. Do you remember that?
Dr. Fauci said I saved thousands and thousands of lives.
Did you
I was early. I was extremely early when I put on the travel ban.
Can I ask you, did your national security advisor on January 28th in the Oval Office warn you that this would be the greatest national security risk of your administration? He didn't say it, or you don't remember?
I read it someplace. Maybe Woodward said it or something. But no, he did not say that. But I knew it was a big threat. At the same time, I don't want to panic this country. I don't want to go out and say everybody's going to die. Everybody's
Isn't there a middle ground? You don't have to mislead, but you can.
No, there's not a middle ground. You have to be safe.
God damn, she is attacking like a little. She reminds me of like one of those annoying Chihuahua dogs that just goes after your ankles.
Voted for you in 2016. She's leaning toward
Didn't even allow the question askers to do a question, but or to ask a rebuttal. Let's see if this question sounds like a talking point you hear on CNN and MSNBC as well.
And ask your question.
Bienvenido a Miami.
Thank you.
Mr. Trump, as a frontline ER doctor working through the coronavirus pandemic, I know firsthand, and I've seen that many hospitals throughout the United States are suffering financial hardships. These economic effects are trickling down to the frontline workers. We are being
Oh, really? Is it, everyone's a girl, huh?
They're being furloughed. Our salaries are being cut. And this is also happening in other economic sectors as well, including the travel industry and hospitality.
Right.
My question to you is, how are you going to get the United States back on track, both in terms of the economy and the pandemic?
So it's happening. We just set a record, 11.4 million jobs. We are going to have a phenomenal third quarter, which will be announced on November 1st, just prior to the big November 3rd day, where I think you're going to see a red wave. But we're going to have a tremendous announcement, I believe. I mean, we're going to find out. But GDP is going through the roof. Jobs, real estate, houses, so many things are happening. So people were saying we're going to have a 42%.
Yeah, I know. China didn't want to stop it. And with Biden and all of them with their hands and their sticky fingers over in China, you've got to ask yourself, is there a connection there? China protected itself but didn't protect the rest of the world.
And people can't even believe it. Our economy is going to be next year, if we don't have somebody that raises taxes and quadruples taxes, which they want to do and kills everything, our economy is going to be phenomenal next year. We're going to have a phenomenal. And I'll tell you, Savannah, we had the greatest economy in the history of our country last year, including the state of Florida, where we are now, and Pennsylvania, and North Carolina, and Ohio, every place. We had the greatest economy we ever had. We had to close it down. We saved 2 million lives. We're opening it up. We have a V shape, and it's coming back. It's coming back very fast. One other thing, we really helped the hospitals. We've sent billions and billions of dollars to the hospitals. In addition, hundreds of millions of masks and gowns. And we went into the ventilator business because this country was not equipped with ventilators. And I'm not blaming anybody for it. But we're now making thousands of ventilators a month. And we have all we can use. We're sending them all over the world because the world needs them. So they've worked very hard and really very, very effectively. Thank you. Great question.
Let's talk to Isabella. Put the mic close to your mouth. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. President, my parents are, as you heard, both frontline healthcare workers, and
I have that pulled up, TV. I'll look at it when I get a chance.
On them firsthand, as well as the exacerbation of coronavirus due to Americans who are not wearing masks or participating in social distancing. After contracting COVID-19 yourself, has your opinion changed on the importance of mask wearing?
No, because I was okay with the masks. I was good with it, but I've heard many different stories on masks. I mean, I had, being president, you have people, they bring meals, they bring this, and I had an instance recently where a very wonderful person is bringing me a meal, and he's playing with his mask, and he's touching his mask all over the place, and then he's bringing a plate in, and I'm saying, well, I don't know if that's so good. I mean, the good news, I didn't eat it, okay? I decided not to eat it. This was a month ago, but look, you have on the masks, you have two stories. You have a story where they want, a story where they don't want. I am all for it.
I don't get that because it's just all of your public health officials, your administration, they're in unison about this.
Chalupa for Rock spelling. I'll send you a meme for that.
They have a model that your coronavirus task force relies on. Says that if everyone wore a mask, you could cut expected deaths in half.
And then you have other people that disagree.
Well, what does that mean?
Scott Atkins, if you look at Scott, Dr. Scott, he's from great guy, Stanford. He will tell you
he's
that
not
he
an
disagrees
infectious
with you.
disease expert.
Oh, I don't know. Look, he's an expert. He's one of the great experts of the world.
But I don't get it because you have so much power and influence as president. You could go to you could require it at your rallies, and you could say, everyone put on a mask right now. And the University of Washington says you would save lives.
University of Washington, and you have other places say different things. You have a lot. Hey, Dr. Fauci said don't wear a mask, right?
At first, but then everybody agreed.
Oh, that lady in the back was hella nodding.
But then you have a report coming out 2 days ago that 85%
Dude,
of the people wearing masks.
Who is she?
That report, it's not about mask wearing. It was neutral on the question of masks.
We're on the same side.
Smart putting her there.
I'm fine with it. I have no problem. We're on the same side.
Let's take a break. We're going to get more questions right after this.
So that's the first break. Interesting. Well, oh cool. It gives us an intermission here to kind of discuss what we saw. So from my perspective, exactly what you would expect from an MSDNC moderator. She seems unhinged. She seems like she has a personal vendetta. She doesn't seem like someone in the middle trying to get answers for both sides. She seems like her entire goal is to just attack the president. Attack. And I don't think these people understand that it's that kind of attacking and that kind of viciousness that drives us all to vote for a person like Trump. I think that's what they don't realize, that we're tired of being attacked. We're tired of the Constitution being attacked. We're tired of our freedoms being attacked. We're tired of our families and our religion and our freedom of speech being attacked. We're tired of it. And the more they attack, the more we want to vote for someone like Trump. And why wouldn't we? We'd vote for Trump because he is a man who is out there fighting like hell. This man had the best life before he ran for office. And, it's funny because he's lost a lot of money by being president. He is going under a lot of stress and criticism because he is president. He has more enemies now than he's ever had in his life because he's president. He very well could have just stayed in his nice, rich, fancy life. And you have to ask yourself, why did Trump do it? And I believe it's because it could give him something that money could not buy. And that's legacy. His legacy. That's something you can't buy with money. And saving the country for his children and grandchildren from becoming a communist nation. He saw where it was going. But anyways, the lady who's sitting behind him, incredible. Incredible. I don't know how she got there. I'm going to have to read up on the stories on who put her there. But very, very smart putting her back there. I think that was definitely a strategic move. And obviously not by MSDNC. Yeah, that's true, Dustin. They were showing that. And see, unfortunately, I'm an Oregon resident, so we really don't have any choice but to do mail-in ballots. But with that said, I do have the option of going in and making sure that my ballot counted. But I can, in 2016, I remember a lot of my friends and family saying that they got notices in the mail saying that their ballot was thrown out for one reason or another.
Mr. President, we have another voter now. Christy Alonso, come on out, Christy. She is leaning slightly towards you. She says she voted for you in 2016. Christy, you ready? Take the mask off, hold the mic close, and let's hear your question.
Thank you for your service, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
We're a hard-working, middle-class
Damn
family
right,
of
thank you
four.
for your
My
service.
husband and I are both self-employed, and we have to get our own individual health care. As you know, healthcare costs have gone up considerably over the decades, and you had originally said you were going to repeal and replace Obamacare. What is your plan now in 2020
You're right, TB.
to make healthcare costs affordable for Americans like myself?
So we got rid of the individual mandate on Obamacare, which was the worst part of Obamacare, and now you could actually say it's not Obamacare because that's how big it was, where you had to pay a fortune for the privilege of not having to pay for bad health insurance. So we got rid of that. That was a big, big thing. And by doing that, and we will always have, by the way, we're always protecting people with pre-existing conditions, and I can't say that more strongly. But we've been able to bring health care costs way down. Now, I took over Obamacare, got rid of the individual mandate, made it good, managed it much better. Remember, they had the $5 billion website disaster and all of the problems they had. The problem with Obamacare, it's not good. We'd like to terminate it, and we want a much less expensive health care.
You noticed that too on TV.
Better health care, and that's where we're aiming. And if we can do that, and we have a very good chance of doing it, but we've also brought down the price of Obamacare. Problem with Obamacare, it basically is never going to be great. And I want to give great health care.
Mr. President, I got to
thank you
follow
very much.
on the pre-existing conditions. This is such a big issue for voters.
Here we go. They're going to talk about the Supreme Court
In point of
case.
fact, your administration is about to go to the Supreme Court to argue to throw out the rest of Obamacare, which includes the protections for pre-existing conditions. So your administration is in court right now trying to get rid of that protection.
In order to replace it with a much better health care at a much lower price, and always, under all circumstances, we are going to protect the Republicans. And I mean, maybe I changed the party a lot over the last 3 years, but we will protect people with pre-existing conditions. And Savannah, what I want to do, get rid of the terrible Obamacare. I've already done it to a large extent because, as you know, the individual mandate is gone. That was the worst part.
You repealed, but you haven't replaced. Now, you've been in office almost 4 years.
What we have done.
You had both houses of Congress, Senate and House.
Only for the first 2 years.
That's right.
And there is not a replacement yet.
That's right. I'm sorry, but if you look, we had both houses.
John McCain's fault.
We got rid of the individual mandate.
But
that went
the
through
promise
the
was
legislature.
repeal and replace.
Look, we should be on the same side. I want it very simple. I'm going to put it very simple. We would like to terminate it, and we would like to replace it with something that's much less expensive and much better. We will always protect people with pre-existing conditions.
But if you're successful
and
in
here's
court
the thing.
in November, those pre-existing conditions, that promise will be gone.
If we don't succeed, we are running the remnants of whatever's left because we took it apart. we are running the remnants of whatever is left much better than the previous administration, which ran it very badly. But we'd like to have new health care, much better and much less expensive.
Let me get to question number 5, and you'll like this. He's stuck in traffic. His name is Joe White. He is registered as a Democrat. He says he's leaning toward Biden and Biden and voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. And his question was, a second stimulus payment has been broadly agreed upon by the Republicans and Democrats, and yet now we're in October and it's still not passed. Why not use your office to make the second stimulus payment a separate targeted emergency relief package to help Americans weather the pandemic?
Well, we've actually passed 3 packages, and we're on our 4th. And I agree with him 100%. He should vote for me. The problem you have is Nancy Pelosi. She couldn't care less about the worker. She couldn't care less about our people. And we should have a stimulus. And I want a stimulus. The Republicans will approve a stimulus. The problem is she doesn't want to do it because she thinks it's bad for her election. The fact is she's wrong because people know she's in our way. She's not approving it. She doesn't appreciate our people. And she doesn't appreciate at all our workers. Nancy Pelosi, we are ready to sign and pass stimulus, but she's got to.
People do not love the back and forth of Washington.
Yeah, as a business owner, I can tell you. And I also have a disease called lupus, which requires constant medical care. I do not have health insurance because it is currently cheaper for me to pay out of pocket for individual visits and medication than it is to keep insurance for my family. So healthcare is a big one for me. I'd like to see them to finally get something across the finish line, but that's why it's so important to get both chambers of Congress and to re-elect Trump so we can get that.
Okay?
But people's lives are hanging in the balance.
And you know who I'm negotiating against? Nancy Pelosi, because she doesn't want to give the money. We should have stimulus. This was not our people's fault. This was China's fault. And she's penalizing our people. I'm ready to sign a big, beautiful stimulus. You saw the other day, I say, go big or go home, right?
That's what
I want it to be big. I want it to be bold. I want the money to go directly to the people.
Senate Republicans with you? They're going to go big?
They'll go.
Big old number?
They'll go. They're going to be
okay,
very
because so far they have not said they would.
Because I haven't asked them to, because I can't get through Nancy Pelosi.
Okay.
If Nancy Pelosi and I, through my representatives or directly, I don't care, if we agree to something, the Republicans will agree to it.
Okay. Our next question comes from, this is interesting. She voted for Clinton in 2016, but recently changed her registration from Democrat to Independent. She says she's truly undecided. Her name's Becky Lightman. Hello, Becky. What's your question?
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Nice to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you. So, corporate tax rates are a hot button issue, and you have cut corporate tax rates, and your opponent Joe Biden is planning to raise them.
Right.
A lot of Americans think that corporations don't pay their share of taxes and want to see those tax rates increase. Right. What do you say to those Americans to maybe tell them why you want the corporate tax rate lower and why that helps them?
It's a great question. We've created more jobs than this country has ever created. We're up to 160 million jobs. We were never even close to that number. We were just hitting 160 million jobs. Companies are pouring into our nation because of the tax rate. And if Biden comes in and raises taxes on everybody, including middle income taxes, which he wants to do, you will blow this thing and you'll end up with a depression, the likes of which you've never had. That's what's going to happen. We have something that's really good. The reason we're coming back so strong is because we built a very strong foundation. Companies are moving in. Car companies are moving into Michigan, into Ohio, into South Carolina and North Carolina just today. So what's happening is they're coming in because we reduced the taxes. Our taxes, our corporate taxes, were the highest in the world, and now they're among the lower taxes. They're not the lowest, but they're among the lowest. And what that means is jobs. But also, we're doing a very big, and we've done a very big middle-income tax package. So if we get in, we're going to do the middle-income tax package. But it's a great question. And if he comes along and raises rates, all those companies that are coming in, they will leave the U.S. so fast your head will spin. We can't let that happen.
On the subject of taxes, as you know, the New York Times has obtained.
Great answer.
It says years of your tax returns, among other things.
Oh, here we go.
You have debts of approximately $421 million that you have personally guaranteed and that will come due in the next 4 years. The question is, on behalf of voters, who do you owe $421 million
First of all, let me answer. What they did is illegal, number one. Also, the numbers are all wrong with the numbers they released. And just so you understand, when you have a lot of real estate, I have real estate, You know a lot of it, okay? Right down the road, Doral. Big stuff, great stuff. When I decided to run, I'm very under-levered, fortunately, but I'm very under-levered. I have a very, very small percentage of debt compared, in fact, some of it I did as favors to institutions that wanted to loan me money. $400 million compared to the assets that I have, all of these great properties all over the world, and frankly, the Bank of America building in San Francisco. I don't love what's happening to San Francisco.
Well, do I hear you right? It sounds like you're saying $400 million isn't that much.
One of the biggest office buildings.
But are you confirming that yes, you do owe some $400 million?
What I'm saying is that it's a tiny percentage of my net worth.
That sounds
and
like
you'll
yes.
see that soon because we're doing things, you know. We've given, I think it's 108 or 112 pages of financial detail to elections, and, you know, we have to file as the president, as any politician, you have to file. Nobody ever looks at that. When they do, they see how incredible the company is, but more importantly, they see where this debt is. No, I don't owe Russia money. I owe a very, very small, it's called mortgages. Yeah. People have a house, they put a mortgage.
Any foreign bank, any foreign entity?
Not that I know of, but I will probably, because it's so easy to solve, and if you'd like to do, I will let you know who I owe whatever small amount of money. I want to say two things. Number one, it's a very small amount of money. Number two, it's very straight. It's very, very straight. But it's a tiny percentage of the worth.
He could probably sell Trump Tower in New York City.
I'm extremely underleveraged. Well,
here's the thing. You could
I mean,
clear this up
he has so
by
much
just releasing your tax
net
returns
worth, it's not
yourself.
even funny.
That's what I don't understand. I think people are just wondering.
As you know,
you're
I'm
the
under
only.
audit. It turned out that I am
Yes,
under
but
audit.
the
They
IRS
actually,
said
excuse me, but you
the
accused
IRS says that doesn't stop
but
you from
you
releasing.
accused me of not being under audit previously, and
No,
so
I
did
did
other
not.
people at NBC, and I am under audit.
You
So
are.
that was solved. That's good. I am under audit. No person in their right mind would release prior to working out the deal with the IRS. And I'll go a step further. I'm treated very badly by the IRS. They treat me very, very badly. You have people in there from previous administrations. They treat me very badly. But we're under audit. It's very routine in many ways, but we're under audit. They like to change the game, change the rules.
420 million.
You saw what they did with the Tea Party
that done on
people.
purpose?
You saw what they did with the religious groups.
TV, you're a numbers
There is
guy.
no law or rule that prohibits you from releasing your tax
No,
returns.
except common sense and intelligence and having lawyers that say, because I would love to release them. And as
Apparently
soon as
over
we
there in
come to a
Thailand,
conclusion, I will
Bangkok,
release
they've
them
been having
gladly.
some riots, so I've been
But
kind
if
of
you go
following the
to
streams.
Elections, and if you take a look, you'll see 112. I think it's 112. It talks about the income, which is rather massive. It talks about all of the properties. They have them listed. You can never learn more. But you know what happened? People went there. All the reporters went. There was like a feeding frenzy. This was originally when I filed it. And I filed it every year. I update it every year. My son is here. They run the company. I don't run the company. You
It
know,
also says that you
know,
paid
sit down, let me just tell you.
$750 in taxes in the year you were
Yeah,
elected.
because
Is that
that's
true
a
or not?
statutory number. It's a statutory.
But
It's
is
not
that true?
I think it's a filing number. You pay $750. It's a
But is
filing
that
or a
all you
filing
paid?
fee.
'Cause most people here probably
Headline.
paid.
No, I can tell you this. If they have my tax returns, as you know, they have to go to jail. It's illegal. But their numbers were wrong. But let me tell you what else.
Still on the tax returns.
I don't owe money to any of these sinister people. This has been going on for years now. Russia, Russia, Russia. It turned out to be a hoax. And it turned out to be that Hillary Clinton and the Democrats were dealing with Russia, not me. It's a whole hoax. So I would not mind at all saying who it is, but it's a very small. When you look at vast properties like I have, and they're big and they're beautiful and they're well located, when you look at that, the amount of money, $400 million, is a peanut. It's extremely underleveraged.
$400 million is a peanut. I wish I could say that.
Voter questions right after this.
I wish I could say $400 million is a peanut. God, that would be the life. Trump is dad. He is a baller, isn't he? To touch on your question there, GB. Thailand, the headline I'm seeing is tens of thousands defy a ban to join pro-democracy protest in Thailand. So that's what we're seeing up top, is apparently there was a ban. They banned the people, most likely from COVID or who knows what, from joining some type of a protest. And so they have defied and done it anyways. And another headline I'm seeing is Bangkok declares state of emergency as Thai unrest continues. So and that's what you're seeing there in the left-hand side of your screen. And up top, you see Trump's bodyguards. They are currently not seeing any threats. They know that Karen is not a threat, and if anything, she's helping, so they are resting at the moment. Ladyboy's bar crawl. Yeah, that can stay on the other side of town for me. I'll stay where the real ladies are. Anyways, the tax returns. She tried to hit and hit and hit. It's the same thing. I mean, do you feel like you're going through a repeat of the first debate? COVID, tax returns. Nothing about policy here. Maybe like one or two policy questions so far. And do you notice that it's a town hall? But where exactly is the town hall? How many people have spoke? 3? Maybe? The majority of the time has been a debate between Trump and MSDNC's crazy Karen. She's been the one that's been eaten up all the time. She's been the one who's just been attacking Trump on the same talking points we've been hearing forever. You notice that they don't talk about Russia anymore. They don't bring that up anymore. They don't bring up impeachment. They don't bring up Ukraine. They don't bring up the wall. They don't bring up any of those issues anymore. Now, all they have is COVID-19, which is a pandemic that would have hit most likely regardless of who was president. And if you think that if Biden was currently president, he would have done a better job, remember, he called Trump xenophobic for shutting down the borders. Nancy Pelosi went into Chinatown in San Francisco to go have a party and to do a parade with everyone to prove that it was safe. These people told us that masks, in the beginning, I believe it was the CDC, told us that masks were unnecessary and would not protect us, and then they backtracked and changed that. These people are lunatics. They're attacking a man who has done so good for this country. And if he had both chambers of government, didn't have a bunch of obstructionists sitting there trying to stop everything. I mean, honestly, it's amazing that Trump has gotten as much done as he has. He has gotten so much done with a bunch of people trying to stand in his way. I really hope we get both chambers of government back. Because if he does, man, can we do some big things.
Another voter, Adam Schucker, he voted for Clinton in 2016. He's registered as a Democrat and says he's...
Oh, of course not. I'm sure they were asking Biden how his dinner was.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Adam.
4 years ago, Senate leadership said it was inappropriate to push through a nominee in an election year. Yet they fast-tracked your nominee for the Supreme Court just today. The question I have for you is, what do you say to the voter that thinks it's hypocritical to act in that manner and that they can't trust Republicans' word?
So when I was elected and when a president is elected, they're elected for a period of 4 years. And Justice Ginsburg said it best, I think talking about President Obama having to do with somebody else, that the president is put there for 4 years, not for 3 years. So during this 4th year, it happened to come up, unfortunately, because I had great respect for Justice Ginsburg, but a vacancy happened to come up, and we picked somebody that's outstanding. She has been an absolute star, and I'm extremely proud of it. But again, plenty of time. I mean, there's plenty of time. We're going to do it before the election, but we also have much time after the election, but there's no reason to wait because it's almost unanimous, it seems to me, certainly within the Republican Party and, frankly, most of the Democrats within closed rooms. I guarantee you that this is an outstanding person, and I'm using my 4th term. And you know, if you look at it, that if you put the shoe on the other foot, if they had this, they would do it 100%. So there's been 29 times when this has happened. All 29 times, a president has done exactly what I've done.
Can I just, to the voters' point, I'll just say that in 2016 you were on another show, actually another morning show, and you were asked whether President Obama should nominate a Supreme Court Justice Merrick Garland, and you said, I think the Senate should wait until the next president and let the president pick. Now that was
I just
8
saw your
months
comment,
before the
Chalupa.
election. This is 3 weeks
I'm
before
sure
the
it is all
election.
part of the
So
same,
you
the
have
same
changed your position on
globalist
I have a lot of respect for Judge
crap.
Garland, I want to tell you that. But I'll tell you, the whole ball game changed when I saw the way they treated Justice Kavanaugh. I have never seen any human being, and I'm not just talking about Supreme Court, I have never seen a human being treated so badly with false accusations and everything else. I have never seen anything like it. And you know what? The truth is, Savannah, like it or not, the ball game changed a lot. There has never been anybody treated so badly as now Justice Kavanaugh.
I don't want to, but I'm going to have to go watch the damn Biden town hall to see the stark difference.
The Supreme Court, in case any challenges come up in connection with the election, do you expect her to rule for you?
I think she'll have to make that decision. I don't think she has any conflict at all. You know, a Supreme Court judge does not have, I mean, they can make their own decision. And they actually have additional power to make that decision. It would be totally up to her. I would think that she would be able to rule either for me or against me. I don't see any conflict whatsoever. We have an election coming up. I think it's the most important election in the history of our country. If for any chance, and it probably won't, and I hope it doesn't ever get to the Supreme Court, but if it did, I would think that she would rule one way or the other. I would think so.
But for you, you think she would rule for you?
I have no
You hope I have a hammer?
Rule one way or the other.
Why is that?
Believe it or not, I never asked her about it. I never talked about it. I didn't talk about any of the obvious things that you could talk about. And I think a lot of people in my position might. But in speaking to a lot of very brilliant people and people that do this for a living, they say it's better not to talk. So I talked to her about life. I talked to her about the fact, would you like to do this? Are you willing to do this? Because it's a tremendous burden. The answer was yes. She's unbelievably well qualified, but I never spoke to her about these various questions.
Let's get our next voter. She's leaning to you, Mr. President. She voted for you in 2016. She is a registered Republican. Her name is Mariah Green. Mariah, what's your question?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. President. I'm honored to be with you here tonight, sir, so thank you. I'm a pro-life millennial, and my question for you today is, if Roe v. Wade is ultimately overturned in the future, what protections would be put in place or kept for where the mother's life is in jeopardy in relation to high-risk pregnancies?
Well, again, I'm not ruling on this, and Roe v. Wade is something that a lot of people say, obviously,
my
you're going
bad.
to speak to somebody. I also...
Sorry, I'm
two other great
snacking a little bit here.
Justices, Justice Gorsuch and Justice Kavanaugh, I never spoke to them about Roe v. Wade. I never spoke to them about election
I was
laws.
saying that,
I never spoke to them about anything, and I've done the right
I have a
thing.
hammer that's sitting right here. I have a bigger one out in my shop, but if I decide to watch the Biden debate, I'll make sure to use it to dumb myself down enough to watch it.
I think that perhaps it could get sent down to the states, and the states would decide. I also think perhaps nothing will happen. I have not talked to her about it. I think it would be inappropriate to talk to her about it. And some people would say you can talk to her about it. I just think it would be inappropriate.
But what is your preference? Because it agreed that's not something you should talk to the judge about. But would you like to see Roe versus Wade overturned?
I would like to see a brilliant jurist, a brilliant person who has done this in great depth and has actually skirted this issue for a long time, make a decision. And that's why I chose her. I think that she's going to make a great decision. I did not tell her what decision to make, and I think it would be inappropriate to say right now because I don't want to do anything to influence her. I want her to get approved, and then I want her to go by the law, and I know she's going to make a great decision for our country.
So you're running as a pro-life Republican. Most pro-life Republicans would like to see Roe v. Wade overturned and abortion banned.
Many of them would.
What do you
Perhaps
think?
most of them would. I am telling you, I don't want to do anything to influence anything right now. I don't want to go out tomorrow and say, oh, he's trying to give her a signal, because I didn't speak to her about it. I've done the right thing in so doing. How she's going to rule, you're going to find out perhaps, or you might not find out. I mean, it may never get there. It may never get there. We'll see what happens.
All right, we have another question. This is Cindy Velez. She is undecided. She says she's leaning to Biden, and she did vote for Clinton in 2016. She's registered as a Democrat. Hi, Cindy. What's your question?
Good evening, Savannah. Good evening, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
As the mother of a young male of color, I have reason to respect authority, not only because it's the
When
right
you're in
thing to
this
do,
biz, you
but
better
also
keep a
out of
damn
fear
hammer.
that he may face profiling or be considered a criminal. As an educator, I've also had similar conversations with my high school students. Mr. President, what will you and your administration do to better prepare our law enforcement officers to work in collaboration with the communities that they serve, and also to protect the lives of innocent Black
I'm
and
gonna mute this
Latinos
for a second.
from
This
police
microphone is
brutality
acting.
and injustice?
Right. I fully understand the question, and I saw everything that you saw over the summer, and it was a terrible thing to watch. We were very strongly, we have a senator named Tim Scott from South Carolina. He came up with a bill that should have been approved. It was great. It was a bill that was strong in terms of law enforcement and strong in terms of enforcing the proper thing and doing the proper thing by law enforcement. And the Democrats just wouldn't go for it. They wouldn't go for it at all. And I don't know why, because it was a really great bill. But I do have to say this. And some people don't like it when I say it, but a lot of people agree. I have done more for the African-American community than any president, with the exception of Abraham Lincoln. Criminal justice reform, prison reform, historically Black colleges and universities. I got them funded. They were on a year-to-year basis. They could have been put out of business. As soon as our country had a little bad year, they would have said, I'm sorry, we're not going to fund you. I got them 10-year funding and financing, and more than they even asked for. I became very friendly with a lot of the heads. But we've done more, and of course, opportunity zones. But criminal justice reform, everybody said it could not be done. President Obama and Biden never even tried to do it. They never even tried. But I say that, and I say it often, I'll say it loud, and I'm very proud of it. And I have a great relationship because of what I've done with the African-American community. I'm very proud of it.
Let's go to our next question. We have Paulette Dale. She leans slightly to Biden. She voted for Clinton in 2016. She's registered as a Republican. Paulette, what's your question?
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
I have to say, you have a great smile.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, he does. You're so handsome when you smile.
Yeah.
As the daughter of immigrants to the United States who fled Eastern Europe due to religious persecution, the United States immigration policies are very personal for me.
Right.
Surveys show that most Americans and the majority of Republicans support the Dreamers program.
Yeah, I hit you with my bathroom scene while I fix this stupid mic.
To a second term, do you expect to pursue your previous efforts to cut the DACA program?
Yeah.
Why or why not?
And the DACA is somewhat different than Dreamers. You understand that, and you understand it better than anybody probably in this room. Where do you come from, by the way, originally?
My grandparents were from Russia and Poland.
That's very good. Okay. So we are going to take care of DACA. We're going to take care of Dreamer. It's working right now. We're negotiating different aspects of immigration and immigration law. We've built now over 400 miles of border wall, southern border. Mexico's working very closely with us. We have the strongest
This mic's
border
being a
we've ever
pain in the
had.
ass.
We want people to come into our country. They have to come in legally, but we are working very hard.
Damn right,
on
build the
DACA
wall.
program.
Also build better
And we will
microphone
be,
stands.
I think very happy over the course of the next year.
Thank you.
Because I feel the same way as you do about it.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
President.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President, in point of fact,
Going
the DACA
Black
program,
Ops on you
there are,
again.
Under your administration, no new applicants are allowed. And in fact, the DACA recipients now have to renew every year as opposed to every 2 years. So in fact, the DACA program has been curtailed by your administration.
Well, what happened is because of the pandemic, much changed on the immigration front. Mexico is heavily infected, as you know, and we've made it very, very difficult to come in because of the pandemic and other reasons, and crime. But we have a very strong border right now, and we have to keep it that way. But we want people to come into our country, but they have to come in through a merit system, and they have to come in legally. And people are very, very happy with it. You haven't heard any complaints about that. But what happened is because of the pandemic, we have to be extra cautious.
You have been promising this immigration bill since, well, at least July, when you told my colleague on Telemundo it was coming, but nothing's come yet.
It's very happy. The fact is, we got rid of catch and release, which is a disaster. You catch somebody, they could be a murderer.
I think we might have figured this out.
We're supposed to release them into our country. These are the laws that I inherited. We ended that program.
I don't have to look like a goof and get memed.
Something very, very good. The whole immigration, if you look at what's going on, people used to pour into our country, and especially during the pandemic. I think even you, Savannah, will be very impressed.
Sir, we have about 30 seconds left. I think about people sitting out there tonight. There are some who love you. Some of them are sitting right around here, and some who will never vote for you. But there are people in the middle. There are people who aren't sure.
That's right.
There are people who want to know why they should give you a second chance and how you might improve in a second term. 30 seconds, what would you say to them?
Because I've done a great job. We had the strongest economy in the world. We closed it up. We are coming around the corner. The vaccines are coming out soon, and our economy is strong. We are at a level with jobs like we've never been before. We've rebuilt our military. We've rebuilt our borders. We had no borders.
Right.
We had no nothing. We've rebuilt so much. We've given you the greatest tax cut in the history of our country, greatest regulation cut, equally as important. And we created new levels of jobs that nobody
They just
thought
want to
was
paint
possible.
this guy as a
And
monster.
Next year is going to be better than ever before.
I got to leave it there. I got a wrap from the control room. Mr. President, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to the voters' questions. That concludes our town hall. We do want to thank the president again, as well as our audience in hot Miami and all of you watching at home. And a reminder,
I don't even know who this.
are scheduled to meet in person a week from tonight in Nashville, a second and final presidential debate moderated by our own Kristen Welker. Have a good evening, and thanks for being with us.
I've got some thoughts, but I don't know if I should pull the hammer out. I kind of feel like maybe I need to pull the hammer out for a second while I think about my thoughts here. Okay, we're gonna shut that down for a second. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. Man, I don't know who that moderator was, but good Lord. From now on, when I see her face, all I'm going to see is Karen. I cannot believe the amount of attacking that, I mean, this was not a town hall. This was a debate. This was a debate between the president and MSDNC, with a couple people who interjected in between. But the entire time, it was a debate between the mainstream media and Trump. That's what we just witnessed. That was not a town hall. That was nothing more. That was nothing. It was a debate. It was a debate between the news and Trump. That's what we just witnessed. I don't know if I want to watch the full Biden town hall, but I bet you we could pull up some highlights. A quick highlight vid just to kind of get an idea of what was going on and what happened. And then we can do some comparison. But I guarantee you, without even watching, they didn't ask him any such questions. I mean, while I'm pulling the videos up here, I mean, you could think about a couple questions that you'd like to ask him. Like, what about Hunter? Where's Hunter? What's up with these emails? What's going on, with, are you planning on packing the court? There's 100 different questions. And you can guarantee the softcore mainstream media asked him like what he had for dinner. I'm just assuming. I mean, I've heard, but I mean, that's what we've all seen. And it just goes to prove even more to all of us that we know for a fact that it's all rigged. It's all, I mean, the word deep state, that was something I would hear before. And deep state was almost like a conspiracy, but it's not a conspiracy anymore. It's not something that is a theory. It's something that is absolutely true. There is a deep state. I think both on the Republican side and the Democrat side, and I think Trump did a pretty good job of draining the Republican side swamp. I mean, you saw Ryan jumped out and was gone, and a couple other people. There's still a few others in there. John McCain passed on. You notice that Bush, where's Bush been? He's been really quiet. Wonder why that is. You ever notice how buddy Bush was with Obama? and with Hillary, you know, all of these people, I think they had imaginary sides to keep people under the blinders. But I think Trump came in here and threw a big wrench in their game, and that's why they're going nuts, trying to do everything they can to discredit the man. I don't know, guys. I'm trying to pull up the Biden town hall highlights. Oh, I didn't know that 2 of Kamala's staff members got the coof too. Interesting. You see, I didn't hear about that. Why? Because the mainstream media will not talk about it. Of course they won't talk about it. They're going to talk about how 14 people in the Trump campaign got it, but they're not going to talk about the Kamala people getting it, and that's because it doesn't really matter what you do. Mask, no mask. If you're around somebody who's got it, there's a good chance you're going to get it. I mean, that's just how it is. I don't know how many of you are on our Discord, but Vince Edwards is one of our live streamers. He does a morning show. You might want to check him out, maybe subscribe. He's got some interesting points. But he just posted in the Discord from San Francisco, California, in a last-ditch effort to stop negative stories about Joe Biden and his family from spreading, Twitter shut down its entire social network Thursday. After seeing account after account tweet out one particularly bad story, CEO Jack Dorsey realized he had to take action. Dorsey smashed a glass box in his office reading "break in case of bad publicity for Democrats." Inside the case was a sledgehammer for smashing Twitter's servers. Red alert! Shut the servers down! Shut them all down! Dorsey ran downstairs and started smashing as many computers as he could, but he did need to ask for some help, as the hammer was pretty heavy. None of the programmers could lift the hammer either. Eventually they managed to program a robot to pick up the sledgehammer and smash the servers. After hearing the Twitter employees talk about critical theory, the robot got woke and began attacking all the cis white males. What did I just read? Good God. That sounded, it started off really well, and about halfway through I was like, oh God, what have I gotten myself into here? Good God. Okay. Well, all right, key moments from ABC News Town Hall with Joe Biden. And yeah, I think that's probably going to be our best bet there. Let's go ahead and hit this one. That seems like I said, this last thing I just read from Vince had something about hammers on it. I was just told a minute ago I'm going to need to dumb myself down with a hammer. Apparently this is Hammer Week. Somebody call MC Hammer, please, and get us some tunes, because I think we are going to need it. Good God. Oh, man. It was funnier when the first person wrote it. You're right, Chalupa. Absolutely right. All these damn hammers.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Somebody pull the keyboard away from me. Oh. All right, let's do Biden highlights. There we go. Put in time. All right.
Don't jump, Cedric. You look like you're way up there.
I'll be okay. Thank you, George. And good evening, former Vice President Biden. Many people believe that the true swing demographic in this election will be black voters under the age of 30. Not because they'll be voting for Trump, but because they won't vote at all. I myself have had this exact same conflict. So my question for you then is, besides you ain't black, what do you have to say to young black voters who see voting for you as further participation
besides you ain't black.
to protect them?
Ooh.
Well, I say, first of all, as my buddy John Lewis said, it's a sacred opportunity right to vote, to make a difference. If young black women and men vote, you can determine the outcome of this election. Not a joke. You can do that. And the next question is, am I worthy of your vote? Can I earn your vote? And the answer is, there's two things I think that I care, and I've demonstrated I care about my whole career.
I'd like to see Biden's other ear.
Dealing with a criminal justice system to make it fair and make it more decent, we have to be able to put black Americans in a position to be able to gain wealth.
God, could they have put that guy any further up in the freaking seats?
It entails everything from early education.
Biden looks like he's talking to God.
We in Title I schools, as you know, schools with the least tax base to be able to support their schools. I increased the funding for them from 15 to 45
These
billion.
career politicians
that allows every teacher in that school to make up to 60.
are really good at sounding like they're saying something while having you tune out, and by the time they're done talking, you don't even know what they said.
Every 3 and 4 and 5-year-old will go to
But if you
school.
support the left, it sounded good, so okay.
With all the great universities, including the one you've gone to, go to, or went to, in fact, talks about in the last 8 years what's happened. What happens when you let them go to school, they make up rapidly.
When you let
whatever shortcoming they had in terms of their education prior to that. They have not heard many words spoken.
Was it ironic that the word shortcoming is what came out of his mouth when he got done freezing up?
58% their chance of going all through 12 years of school and going through successfully. We'll also provide for the ability to bring in social workers and school psychologists. We have one school psychologist in America now for every 1,507 kids. It should be 1 to 500, not just in schools that are poor, but in all schools. Because we learn
How is that going to help me pay my bills?
Mental illness causes drug abuse, the failure to get hold of people and deal with their anxieties. In addition to that, I provide for $70 billion for HBCUs, for them to be able to have the wherewithal to do what other universities can do, because they don't have the kind of foundational support they need. And so
that's what you need.
For example, like we
need a good helping dose of that man right there.
We awarded a cybersecurity laboratory, ability to compete for a cybersecurity laboratory. The federal government spends billions of dollars a year on universities because they're the best kept secret, or where most of the major inventions come out of. And so
would have been nice if Trump would have been allowed to talk to the people asking him questions, huh?
Go into a field of the future that's burgeoning, cybersecurity, and that's what's going to help a great deal.
Exactly, TV. Exactly.
If you're a young man about to graduate, or you graduated from school and you want to own your first home, or it's awful hard to get the money, and depending on the background, what your economic background is, to get a down payment. So we're going to guarantee first-term home buyers a $15,000 down payment for first-term home buyers. In addition to that,
what is he even talking about?
I've been arguing this for a long time. Is young black entrepreneurs are just as successful as white entrepreneurs or anyone else given a shot.
Whoa.
You can't get the money. Where do you go to get?
Did he just repeat the freaking gaffe of black kids are just as smart as white kids?
$500 million, and we invested it in all the SBA.
No way he did it again.
State SBA, small business.
No way he did it again.
$30 billion came off the sideline, because if you have a guarantee of $200,000 for your new startup enterprise, young entrepreneur, you're going to be able to attract, if it's government money as a guarantee, you'll be able to attract another $100,000. It generated $30 billion. Well, I'm
he did it again.
Program, and I'll get this done. without much trouble, I believe, in the
Black
Congress,
entrepreneurs are just as successful as white
$1.5
ones.
billion to $30 billion to $30 billion.
What?
Take $300 billion off the
What?
side and grow, because you know. And for example, if
He did
you,
it
in fact,
again?
and I
Oh
were
my
the same
God.
age, we split our differences into the same
Guys,
age,
how this
and
guy
went to the
can't
same
win.
builder to buy us each the same home. But my home was in a white neighborhood on one side of a highway, and yours is in a black neighborhood. Same exact home. Your home will start off being valued 29% less than my home. Yet your insurance for that home will be higher. You'll be taxed more for it. We've got to end this. That's what got me involved in politics in the first place, a thing called redlining. We can change so much that we can do so much to change the circumstances.
Then why didn't you do it in the 47 years you have been in government, Biden?
I think so.
Well, there's a lot more if you're going to hang around afterwards. I'll tell you more.
Okay.
Let's get it. No, but I really mean it. It is the key. Look, this is the way every other. How do most, like my dad, he lost his job up in Scranton.
Oh, God.
And it took him 3 years to be able to move down to Delaware to Claymont, Delaware.
Grandpa Joe.
And send us
Come
over
sit
to
on my
our
lap, little boy, and I'll tell you some old stories about how Pop lost his job in Scranton at the old mill.
Normal apartments. But it took him 5 years to be able to buy a home. Well, we bought a 3-bedroom home with 4 kids and a grandpop living with us, but it accumulated wealth. You build up wealth. That's how middle-class folks make it. They build up wealth. Then he was able to borrow a little against that to be able to help us to get to school, those kinds of things. It's about accumulating wealth. And you're behind an 8 ball. The vast majority of people of color
You're behind an
are
8 ball?
And it's the same way.
You tell that to anybody under the age of 30, they're going to think you're talking about drugs.
You go to the bank if you're a black businessman, and the president fired the only inspector general to oversee all this help coming from the Congress. And what happens? You go in and they say, do you have an account here? No. Do you have a credit card with this? No. Have you borrowed?
How have they not
No.
stopped him and interrupted him or told him that his time's
You're
up?
not liable for any of the money, but they still won't run it. They still won't lend it to you. We got to change that. It's about accumulating wealth.
Hi everyone, George
What?
Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch.
That was just one point. That was not a highlight. Number one. And God, I can't be the only person here whose brain is hurting right now. What did he even just say? I mean, the only thing I got out of that was it's about accumulating wealth. But that's because it's the last thing he said. I mean, everything else was just gone. That and the fact that he said that white entrepreneurs are just as smart, or black entrepreneurs are just as smart as white. Like, did he really do that again? That had to be intentional or something. There's no way he repeated that gaffe. There's no flippin' way that he did that again. What? No, I refuse to believe that happened a second time. Like, this can't be real. My God. That was just the one point, but I'm not seeing. Here's a highlight video that talks about both Trump and Biden, but it's a guy named Meet Kevin. And I don't know what his agenda is, so I'm not going to put it up. I just wanted to see the highlights from Biden, but I'm not seeing anybody's put together a highlight video. Here's another point here. You guys tell me, what would you rather hear? Joe Biden answers how he would have handled the pandemic differently, or Joe Biden pressed about his plan for tax cuts for the middle class? I'm probably going to be on for about another 15 minutes here, so we can watch either one of those, but God, my brain already hurts think I might have to listen to a conservative rap song or something. Tax cuts. All right. That's the first one I'm seeing. Let's do the tax cuts. We'll get this all popped up and in the system. Doing it on the Streamwall platform makes it a little more time consuming, but it's nice to have have the Brady Bunch thing going on. There we go. And tax cuts. And of course it's going to try to give us this commercial real quick, but we will hit that refresh and hope she comes live. Boom.
Republican, I know it for President Trump.
Thank you, George. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. You stated that anyone making less than $400,000 will not see one single penny of their taxes raised.
That's right.
But also state that you are going to eliminate the Trump tax cuts. The Trump tax cuts reduces taxes for the majority of workers. I would argue not enough. What is your plan for either extending the tax cuts for the middle class or creating a new plan that further reduces those taxes?
I carry this card with me. When I said the Trump tax cuts, about 1.3 trillion of the $2 trillion in his tax cuts went to the top 1/10 of 1%. That's what I'm talking about eliminating, not all the tax cuts that are out there. And by the way, if you just take a look, we reduced the corporate tax rate from 35%, and Democrats and Republicans when we were in office thought it should come down to 28%. He reduced it to 21%. You have 91 out of the Fortune 500 companies not paying a single solitary penny. If you raise the corporate tax just back to 28%, which is a fair tax, you'd raise $1 trillion, $300 billion by that one act. If you made sure the people making over 400 grand paid what they did in the Bush administration, 39.6%, you would raise another, it goes up to, let me get the exact number here, about another $92 billion. So you can raise
Joe Biden talking about numbers,
to be
man.
able to invest in things that can make your life easier, make you change your standard of living by making sure you have affordable health care, by making sure you're in a situation where you're able to send your kid to school, and if you have a student debt, you can deal with it, making sure that your home, you can pay your mortgage. You got 20 million people right now.
Mr. Vice President, let me press you on that, though.
Sure.
You're going to raise the corporate tax, you're going to raise taxes on the wealthy. Is it wise to do even that when the economy is as weak as it is right now? Another 900,000 people.
Let me press you on that real quick.
Moody's did analysis of my
Sure,
detailed
it's okay.
analysis
Press
of
me.
my tax plan and my economic plan. They said, I will in 4 years, Moody's, Wall Street, said I will create 18.6 million new jobs, good paying jobs, number one. Number two, and I'll increase, the GDP will grow by $1 trillion more than it would under Trump, and 7 million more jobs than under Trump. And the reason is when you allow people
Then why didn't you do it under Obama when you had the opportunity to do so?
You had last year, during this pandemic, you had the wealthiest.
This isn't a man that hasn't had an opportunity to show us what he can do while in public office. This is a man who's been there for 47 years.
Recovery. It's a K-shaped.
The only thing he's learned is how to talk.
You're going to do very well.
And even that, he doesn't do very well.
Your income is coming down. You're not getting a raise. I don't know what you do. You may get a raise. Hope you're a billionaire. But all kidding aside, but it's about growing the economy. And George, the way out, the reason why I'm so optimistic about economic recovery, more than I've
Smack
ever been,
myself here with a damn
is
corn
we have
dog.
these
Don't want you guys to have to
policies
listen to me
happening
eat, so
all
I
at
keep
once,
muting it.
and one helps the other. For example, we're going to invest a great deal of that money into infrastructure and into a green infrastructure. We're going to put 500,000 charging stations on new highways we're building and old highways we're building. We're going to own the electric market. You know as well as I do from your days, in the old days, where the president spends about $600 billion a year on government contracts. Everything from making sure they have aircraft carriers to automobile fleets for in the United States. If you and it's not violation of any international trade agreement, made in America. If you actually insist that, whatever that product is, made in America, including the material that goes into the product, it's estimated we're going to create somewhere between another 4 and 6 million jobs just by doing that. But what's happening now? Under his trade policy, a lot of this is going overseas. You get a benefit from going overseas. If you have much of it.
Puppy's wigging out. I think he hears
So if
Biden.
you send it overseas, you get a 10%
You realize they were
tax
calm during Trump?
on the product.
He's wigging out.
And you bring it back, you get a 10% growth.
His brain feels about as bad as all of ours do.
And you're going to open up an old facility. You get a 10% tax credit for all you invested. That actually works, George.
So there's not going to be any delay on the tax.
This guy is Mr. Flip Flop. He'll tell you whatever you need to hear for the moment. I'm with the Green Deal. I'm not with the Green Deal. I'm with the Green Deal. I'm not with the Green Deal. This guy sounds like Ross Perot. I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in. Jesus.
Some of my Republican
He just
friends
needs
and
the
some of my
ears.
Democratic friends even occasionally say, well, if you can't get the votes by executive order, you're going to do something. Things you can't do by executive order unless you're a dictator. We're a democracy. We need consensus.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for
Again, guys, I have to tell you, I think the reason Trump does so well is because when he talks, people understand what he's saying. I just listened to that entire thing, and I don't feel like I learned anything. I don't feel like I heard a damn thing at all. And I'm pretty sure that's what he's trying to do, is just talk a bunch of words that sound okay, but just to confuse the average American, because the average American isn't very smart. I'll change that. Not just the average American, the average human.
Race baiting, you're not hear me dividing, you hear me trying to unify. And unify bring people together. When I said I was running because I wanted to unify the country, people said, well, they were the old days. We better be able to do it again. We better be able to do it again.
Mr. Vice President, if you lose, what will that say to you about where America is today?
Well, it could say that I'm a lousy candidate and I didn't do a good job. But I think, I hope that it doesn't say that we are as racially, ethnically, and religiously at odds with one another as it appears the president wants us to be.
Oh, God. Well, at least we get the sound bite of Biden saying he's a lousy candidate. Man. I tell you, that's something else. I don't feel like the only thing I learned from watching the highlights of Joe Biden's debate is, one, I might have fallen asleep if I watched the whole thing. And that's if I didn't have restless brain syndrome from having to listen to him ramble on about just random stuff that doesn't make any sense. I mean, the first one that we looked at with the African-American gentleman that was sitting there asking him a question and pressed him on the, other than I'm just black, that's why I should vote for you, what else you got? Or, like, other than that, I I don't feel like I've learned anything. The guy rambled and rambled and rambled, and it's just like, did he even say anything? Like, and the left is going to be like, oh, we love him. Trump has a way of talking like a normal human. He is a normal human. He's an average person. That's why we voted for him. We like Trump because he's not a politician. We like Trump because he's not politically correct. We like Trump because he supports the Constitution and wants to protect our freedoms. We like Trump because he's got so much money. Money is of no interest to this man. This man could seriously not work another day in his life, and the whole rest of his generation of family members are taken care of. This man does not need money. This man has lost money by becoming the president. He's not gained any money. He's not making money. This man has lost a lot. He lost a lot of luxuries. He lost a lot of privacy. He lost a lot of everything to come and fight for this country and to preserve it and save it. I've got my own opinions on what I think is actually happening. I think a lot of what we're seeing here is the globalists really wanting America to fail, because I believe that they want to change the world currency to something else. And I don't know specifically if it's an underground operation to get it to change the world currency back to the euro, or if this is actually a communist type takeover from the globalists trying to change the world currency back over to the yen. But the world currency used to be the pound, Europe's currency, until World War II, and they were so destroyed after World War II that they could no longer function properly, and it didn't make sense to maintain them as the world currency, and that's when the United States became the world currency. And there's a lot more to be said there, but I do personally believe that there's a lot of people out there who feel like the United States is standing in their way of becoming a superpower, and I believe that they know that they can't beat us in a traditional war. They can't beat us intellectually and outright and fair. So I believe that it's more of a let's infiltrate their systems and destroy them from the inside. And I think Trump threw a big wrench in that plan. I think their plan was to hopefully destroy us from the inside, make us weak, and then transfer everything over in a very calm and peaceful way. But I think Trump standing in the middle of this has seriously screwed with their plans, and now they've basically hit the panic button. And their plan is, well, if we can't destroy them peacefully, let's destroy them with a war. But I don't think they can win that war. If there's a civil war, I know who I've got my bets on. And I think it's going to be pretty damn interesting to see what happens after the election, if they push for it. I don't really think... I think if Biden wins, I think we're going to see a war. I think if Trump wins, we'll probably see a war. We've already seen these idiots in the streets for who knows how long now. So the question is, how much is enough? How much is too much? At what point do the American people say, the Constitution has given me the right to protect this? And I'd be lying if I said it didn't feel like we were getting close. And I guess that time will tell with that. But never in my life have I heard the word civil war brought up so much. Mainstream people bringing it up as much. And you can look at different trends on the internet, different words and sentence combinations to see what the trends are. And when you look at a graph of what civil war is in terms of trends, I think you'll see there's a reason all of us have been thinking about it. Steak versus soy, who wins? I take steak every single time, although I might put some soy sauce on my steak because that shit would be delicious. But if I had to pick between one, I'd take the steak. Insurrection Act, 5th of November. Could be. Definitely could be. Yeah, Nitro. I think from any place on this planet, it looks like it's very possible, and I know that would affect the rest of the world. I mean, everybody in the world has to care about what's happening in the United States because we're the world currency and everything pretty much runs through here. So, I think if that happens, God help us all. I know I've prepared myself to be okay and to have everything I need to reach out to friends and family to make sure that they're okay as well. But I know there's a lot of people out there who aren't prepared. And now the gun prices, ammunition prices, and all that stuff have gone up. Survival gear, not being able to get products due to border restrictions, thanks to COVID. I mean, it just seems like the perfect storm. And you have to ask yourself, was that storm created on purpose? Because the perfect storm isn't something that happens very often, but it sure seems like there's been a lot of storms over the last 4 years. And if 2020 isn't any indication, just one too many perfect storms for me to feel like it's not intentional. Yeah, the world should have freedom of speech. The whole world should have the freedoms and the inalienable rights that we have here. And honestly, the freedoms that we have here aren't even as expanded as they should be. They should be much more expanded. They should be much more there should be a lot more. Everybody on this planet should have the same rights. Now, at the same point, I don't want to say, oh, the whole world should be free and be run by America. I definitely don't want that. I like individual countries and I like individual places having their own rules and their own things. But I mean, as a human, I'd like to see everybody have inalienable rights and have the same freedoms that are afforded to us, to everyone else. So you shouldn't be restricted on how you want to live your life and banned. We learned a long time ago that prohibition doesn't work. So trying to put prohibition on our freedoms, it's not going to go very well. Yeah, the whole world's just been a mess the last 4 years, and I think it's because the deep state and the people underground are kind of like, what happened? They're freaking out. They're throwing a Hail Mary now. I'll tell you what, this Biden story and having actual proof now that Biden his son was over there doing dirty deals. That's a smoking missile. Trump called it a smoking gun. That's a smoking missile, and it's done hit. And I think there's going to be a lot of fallout from that. Biden with his gaffes tonight. Going to be fallout from that. I just don't understand how you can vote for the guy. I just really don't. I just don't. And if you're voting for him, I recommend you look into what the facts are, like the majority of us have done. Biden has had 47 years to prove to you that he could do something in government. And the only thing the man has done is prove that he's actually a racist, if you ask me. That's just my opinion. But I'd say it's an educated one based on fact. But whatever. How do I know who is dirty? Oh, look at that. Puppies have woke up. Damn you, Biden. You done disturbed the puppies. What did you do? Looks like Thailand's getting ready to go off. A lot of stuff going down. Anyways, tonight I registered for this Sunday in Nevada for the Trump rally that is in Nevada. So, there is a very good chance that I might... This hat keeps getting crooked. It doesn't fit me really. Very good chance I might be live streaming a few hours or whatnot from before the event, outside of the event, if I can, even in the event. I don't know if they'll allow me. I'm guessing that Secret Service probably won't allow me to have battery packs and all that kind of extra stuff. I'm guessing they probably make you come in with a bunch of minimal stuff. So I'll do my best to try to keep my camera, my camera source battery loaded up, and we'll see what we can do. At least on the outside, I should be able to get some sort of a live stream. So that should be interesting for everybody. So look forward to that. It is now 3 o'clock in the morning here. I personally need to wake up and do some business in town, and that means I need to get me some rest. So we will see if I get the email and if I am allowed to go to this Trump rally, and if that goes down this weekend. I hope it does. But hey, I appreciate you guys. You pay $1 if you run around Area 51. Yeah, Area 51 first is a little bit further south than where I'm going. This is closer to Reno. Area 51's closer to Vegas. I have driven around out there. Kind of familiar with the area. Driven through a bunch of times. Definitely stopped in and checked out the Alien Cat House gas station on the way through. Vegas is something I consider my second home, and I typically drive it. When I do, I usually drive from here in the Northwest to Reno, stay a night, then continue on the next day and finish the other half of the drive. I'm not one who likes to fly. I do it, but I don't like doing it. But that's just me. So, anyhow, okay, $2. Yeah, no problem. If you guys have not yet, I would appreciate it if you hit that sub button and tick those notifications for when we go live. I appreciate you guys doing this here with me, enjoying this with me, and seeing it with me, and sharing your ideas and keeping it real. I've got some things coming up here in the very near future that are about to happen that'll probably blow this stream up a little bit, and it'll start growing pretty quick. So enjoy the slow chat and the very intimate feel as we have right now, but we should be growing. Chalupa, actually, I would go, depending on what time I wake up tomorrow. I've got to go into town and get some stuff done. But if I get that stuff done, I do plan on doing some salmon fishing on my river. And I will live stream that, and I will put that up. So that is definitely in the plans. Yes, definitely hit that sub and tick that bell. River tour. Plan on setting up a tripod, a camera, and just taking my gear out there and doing some salmon fishing, seeing if we can't ring something in. The salmon right now are rolling tough. So yeah, I'm also hunting. There's just a lot going on in the next 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks is hunting, fishing, freaking possibly leaving town real quick to go do the Trump rally. On top of that, there is talks of something big for election night coverage. Not gonna spoil it here, but I'd just say make sure you're subscribed and you got those notifications turned on. Could be pretty interesting. You might see a couple faces that are familiar to you. But we'll see. We'll see what all's going on. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys more than y'all could know. And thank you again for being here. And I hope to catch you all on the next one. Y'all have a good night. And I appreciate you. Again, keep those hammers away from your heads if you can at all help it. Alright. It doesn't show my finger, right? Fuck it. Horns. Peace.